I'm with my brother Bertie, and I'm going to be showing the exact step-by-step process I use every day to this day to allow Founders of Physique, my fitness coaching business, to be doing 35k per month every single month and just continuously grow.
As you can see, guys, I haven't collected a single payment for my fitness coaching so far, but I'm going to be implementing the steps Ned teaches me over the next 3 months to hit my first 10k.
So we're going to be going through 4 key things, and these are the exact things that I've used to have messages of like 2.5k close, 9.6k PIF, 4.5k close today, multiple 3k close, biggest month, and the exact things that I do in July from the 9th to 11th of July to the 9th to the 12th of July to collect 580, 500, 1,200, 1,800, and this is pounds, guys. This isn't US, so that is at least 5-6k US. Exact thing that I've used to hit over 10k months on top of, and that's just in one Stripe platform. And the exact thing that I've used to collect all of these, if you're seeing the screen now, all of these payments here, like 1, 2, even 3.4k payments. These are 3.4k, 3.4k, and have all the results like this. Like I've had a ton of results, like crazy results. Like Moses lost 18.5 kg of fat. I have over 61 clients, hundreds of transformations, and yeah, really growing and fostering business. So we're going to go through each step one by one. I have the premium buyer ecosystem, conversion map, and refinement systems. Let me just rechange that. I have them highlighted out right now because I don't want you guys to get distracted, because we're going to start with high converting offer, and each of these black things we're just going to go over one by one. We'll start with part 1, pick one avatar and one promise. But he's already done some stuff within the offer ideation. Skinny unconfident men aged 18 to 30. What we're basically looking for here is we want a single promise, and we want to make sure that we basically pick one avatar roughly. And if you've got a broad audience, Bertie has 33k followers right now, so he has quite a broad audience, quite a lot of young guys as well. He gets really good engagement, but basically we need to pick out someone that we can help within that. I think we're going to go with, you mainly have guys in your Instagram following, don't you?
Yeah.
Do you know the percentage?
Yeah, it's about 85%.
Yes, we might as well go, guys. And yeah, what we want to do is we want to get that audience, and then we want to like make basically a concrete promise to them. So I think the first thing we should do, a lot of your guys are young. I normally say weight loss is the best way to go about it, because it's got to be a bit more concrete than just like get in shape. Like skinny unconfident men age 18-30 at low plot, and they want to climb out of rough through muscle building and building strong habits. It's not as defined as it could be, and it's not going to like really pull someone out. Like the problem is you're going to very easily mix in with everyone else. But there's 2 ways of building a high converting offer. You can be a differentiator, or you can just create an offer that has extreme high perceived value and solves a very like important problem. And for Bertie, because he has more followers, instead of making him more of a differentiator, being more niche, which if you don't have many followers, you can still get to 10, 20, 30k by making yourself a differentiator with not many followers. But if you have more followers, you're better off just going and trying to solve a problem that a lot of your followers have. So I would say focus on fat loss and muscle gain, and I think your offer should be within 90 days. So if we go for that, what do you feel like you could help someone? Do you think you have many people that would want to lose weight in your following?
Yeah, definitely. Most people.
Okay, most people.
Most people are either like skinny fat and they want to, you know, build and lose at the same time. Some people just want to drop weight, and then some people just want to put on weight. I get a bit of a mix and everything.
Okay.
But there's always a weight gain or weight loss, probably about 50-50 split.
Okay. So I would say starting with a weight loss, most likely better, because you can find more people with that. Let's just think about like, how much do you think you could help someone lose
in 90 days? I think it really, but the thing is, it really depends on where they're starting at.
Yeah.
If they're quite a big guy, I think I can help them lose a decent amount more. In 90 days, I'd probably say a couple of kg.
A couple of kg in 90 days?
Yeah.
Moses lost 18.
In 90 days?
Yeah.
Okay.
What could they lose? Like, I don't know.
But like, that's quite an extreme, wasn't 90?
Yeah, it's quite a big transfer.
It depends what we're doing. If we're doing it purely fat loss and we're not really looking to you know, build muscle as well, definitely more. But if we're looking to reduce fat whilst also getting a bit of strength and muscle, then I wouldn't say a big massive number.
To lose like 3 to 7 pounds of fat,
11 kg
of fat whilst gaining muscle in 90 days whilst gaining muscle. Something along those lines. I think 3 to 7 kg is very realistic of how much you could see.
Yeah.
And the aim will be to look more athletic end of the program? Because you mentioned to me most of the guys that you speak to, they want to look more athletic.
Yeah.
Like
They aim for a physique like mine, which I would say is pretty. They've got a fair amount of muscle, but it's mostly like it's athletics, not like anything bodybuilder or anything like that.
Okay. And what's your avatar? So this is an unusual way of doing it, guys. You normally want to think about your avatar and think about what they want, but most likely Baz is going to have a big enough audience to like think about what he can help someone do and then think about who his avatar is.
What do you mean by avatar?
As in, who is it that you want to help?
Young men. Yeah, I wouldn't want to help anyone older than 30, I would say, just because I'd feel a bit out of that's where it starts to get a bit out of my kind of knowledge base and specialties things. I don't feel like I have enough experience in those kind of age groups. I think such change.
I mean, everything applies the same.
Yeah, I think yeah. Okay.
Like the only time it's maybe a bit different is like, let's say, women going through menopause.
Yeah.
Then it's like a slightly different thing. But okay, so let's say young guys working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
Keep it super simple. If you're watching this, you don't have as big of a following, you want to make all of this more specific. So like you could say young Christian guys working 9 to 5. Sounds super random, but I would actually target someone else so that if they came onto your profile, they're going to be more like, oh, fuck, this guy matches what I want to do a lot. But for Bertie, he has like a lot of people he can like target anyway. So if he makes it too specific, then he'll actually miss out on people. Pick one avatar, 1 point. Young guys working 9 to 5, looking to lose 70 kg of fat in 90 days whilst gaining muscle.
Without spending hours in the gym.
What is it that when you're a young guy that you didn't want to do? When you've been working 9 to 5? When you're working at Heather's?
Yeah.
What is it that you don't want to be doing?
Probably spending I don't know, I used to spend hours in the gym just because that's what I thought I had to do.
But what is it that you really don't like? That you never like doing? Or sometimes you still avoid now?
Cooking meals consistently when I get back from the gym.
Okay, nutrition.
Nutrition after work, on top of having to go to the gym, is quite a lot of effort because then you spend your whole evening, dialing in your nutrition as well.
So something like without spending hours on nutrition, that could be improved quite a bit. But you could think about that.
I think my thing is that the whole way through I've kept my nutrition quite simple.
Yeah.
Whole foods, no complicated meals that take hours to make.
Without complex nutrition.
A complex nutrition, just like very easy to follow, kind of a set kind of shopping list that I just go in. I know what food I'm getting each time. Smash out of that in the week, and I know I'm getting results from what I'm eating from there. But I don't spend hours thinking about what spice I need here for this meal, blah 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 blah, because it's too much for me.
You can do without complex nutrition, without spending hours cooking or tracking food, something like that.
Tracking is probably the one. Actually, now you've mentioned that. I've never tracked.
So you can make a thing about that.
Yeah.
You've never tracked it, you got it now showed.
Yeah.
And then you could even have something like never tracked a calorie.
Yeah.
Never tracked calorie, and neither do you. So obviously you got to make that better. Yeah. Like this isn't like just a bio, this is more like what your actual offer is. Yeah. Just keeping it really simple. Boom. Okay. Everyone spends ages. I see like people in mentorships, and then like I speak to them and they're like, what have you been doing now? Because they've asked me, they might be in a mentorship, but they might be still struggling. And they've been like, oh yeah, we built out the offer. And I'm like, okay, awesome, man. Like, how long you been working with them? It's like 6 weeks. It doesn't take you 6 weeks to fill out an offer. It should be quick, especially when you're first starting. You come with your offer, and that's super important. When you're first starting, you should be quick. So the second thing we need to do is actually max out the value equation, how they perceive it. Like the value is how much they perceive it. It's not actually necessarily what you do. So maxing out the value equation. So like, what is it that they so firstly, we've kind of already looked at that. So what is it they don't have to do? They don't have to track. What else makes it good for them? That means that is higher value than just doing it on their own.
Not have to spend hours in the gym. Like I work out for max like hour and 15, hour and a half max, normally around hour and 15 to an hour.
Only,
which especially like if you've seen a lot of my videos, it's like me getting to the gym after work.
Only 3 hours a week in the gym?
Yeah. We at start, I'd probably start them on that.
Okay, only 2 hours a week in the gym.
And as they progress, it might build up a bit more than
they might want to do more. But you can help someone lose weight and build muscle. 3 hours.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay, then what else?
What else makes it good for them?
So not gonna have to track. Only do 3 hours a week in the gym.
Yeah, I mean they're definitely gonna have the benefit of having me motivating them, keeping them accountable. That's a big thing.
Mindset shift.
There's going to be loads of different little things that kind of I've built up over time that have helped me kind of build that discipline in terms of small habits.
Yeah.
That I do. And a lot of that is tailored to like making sure I'm getting gym workouts in after a long day of work, or long day or whatever.
Yeah, so habits that almost become automated
Automated habits, yeah.
and sustainable.
And no longer seeing the gym as a chore, but also...
So is it like once you do this for 3 months, you kind of
Yeah,
do
100%.
it forever?
Yeah, I'd say maybe with the habit side, that's the only thing. I think it might take maybe longer than 3 months. I think you could definitely do it in 3 months if you're consistent with it.
It's your job not to make sure they're consistent with it.
No, yeah, that's very true.
Only do it for 3 months.
Yeah.
They keep it forever.
Yeah. Yeah, build up habits that will allow them to maintain and improve beyond the coaching.
Yeah, that's cool. Okay. And you can think about other things in there. So it's only going to take them 90 days.
Yeah.
They're going to lose 3 to 7 kg. They're not going to have to track. And they'll also build habits will keep them the results forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty strong.
Do we need a mention of building muscle in there?
Okay, yeah. And they're going to build muscle and look more sick. Yeah, I mean, this is pretty basic stuff, but this is good. Like, because that's way high value. Because if they do it on their own and they're going to follow the exact process worked for you.
Yeah.
Because right now you don't have any testimonials, so it's like follow the exact process that worked for you.
Yeah.
If it's like 90 days, so it's going to take them a lot less time. They're going to lose weight. They're going to build muscle. They're not going to have to track their food, which makes it easier. It reduces the actual like effort and sacrifice. They're going to build habits that keep the results forever, which increases the dream outcome because not only do they lose all this, but then they get to keep it. And they get to follow the exact process that worked for you, which increases the perceived likelihood of achievement. And then all of that together means that the value they perceive is higher because they're more likely to achieve it. It's going to take them less time. They're going to get a better result and they're going to be able to keep it. So I'd say this is pretty strong. Cut this up at the top. Okay, cool. And then the next part is a risk reversal. So basically what we want to do now is build out a guarantee based on this. So boom. And obviously that guarantee for fitness coaching, it's got to be action based.
Yeah.
So depending on their action.
Yeah.
Let's say they do a check-in every week.
Yeah.
If they complete, this is like a really rough guide. You're going to need to go through this and like revamp it to make sure it's like really organized and makes sense. So if they complete, what do you feel like is a guarantee that you'd want to do?
In terms of what they need to do on their side.
Yeah, what do they need to do?
They need to, if we're only doing like 3 hours a week in the gym, like that is enough, definitely, but it's not, if you're skipping one of those sessions every week, then that's definitely not going to be enough. I think they need to be doing all of their workouts, 90% of their workouts, because things come up, but all workouts, I would say.
Yeah.
Coming to all the weekly check-in calls.
Yeah.
And then on terms of the nutrition side, they need to be kind of regularly updating me on things they're eating, showing me that they're eating the right foods in terms of a number aspect.
Okay, so following nutrition plan.
Yeah. What else?
So do you feel like if people do these things that you'll be able to transform them?
Yeah.
Of those two?
Yeah.
Okay. And then you can guarantee something like, the guarantee is if you follow the nutrition, obviously you want to rephrase this to make it better. If you follow the nutrition and workout plan whilst allowing me to keep you fully accountable by showing up to the weekly check-ins.
Yeah.
Then if you don't lose over 3 kg whilst gaining strength, then no, that's not part of their dream outcome enough. If you don't lose over 3 kg
and
whilst
or if you don't look more athletic or
check-ins, then if you don't lose over 3 kg, I think we can do like a bit more than that, 5 to 7 kg. Even better. If you don't lose over 5 kg, whilst building muscle, getting strength, you're gonna have to rewrite this. Then I'll in 90 days I'll work for you for free until you do. I would say actually if you just write these notes, I'll just tell this stuff so it makes more sense. Because right now I'm like speaking it whilst I'm writing it.
Yeah.
The other option that you can do is that basically anyone that comes on, because at the beginning you just want results, you want transformations, it's not just about posting transformations, but it's about having confidence in the training. So what you could also do is something like, basically, let's say someone comes on for a 6-week program, you do 6 weeks for £150. If they do all the workouts, attend all the weekly check-ins, follow the nutrition plan,
yeah,
and they're guaranteed to get in amazing shape.
Yeah.
If they do all of those things at the end of the 6 weeks, you'll give them their money back.
Regardless of whether they see results or not.
They will see results if they do that, though.
But like, is that if they don't see results at the end of that, you give them the money back?
No, all those things, at the end of 6 weeks, they get their money back.
Even if they're making same results?
Yeah, but you want it maybe a bit longer. Like, if you're going to do that, you do more workouts, like 5 workouts, like a strict nutrition plan. Like, you want everything pretty strict to that point. And instead of weekly check-ins, you could do like online check-ins. So like instead of doing an actual call with them, you could do like a digital check-in through the app to make it easier for you. But if they do all of those things at the end of 6 weeks, they get their money back. And then what you can then do is, instead of giving their money back, is at the end. So they have £150, and then you can say, okay, well, you've made all this progress. Like basically, this is where we want to get to. The coaching is £600 for 3 months. What you'll do is you can get it for 300 since you finished this. So not only do you get your money back, but you get double that amount off. But that's just an example. That wouldn't be much. Obviously, I charge £3,400, so 5k for my coaching. So I'm not just trying to devalue you. It's just about getting people through the door at the start. So like, let's say then it's £150. You give them double that as credit. So what we could do for people that want to take action, I'm actually going to allow people to double that credit so that you can have 300 off my coaching. So that when you draw for 3 months, which is normally, well, you said £150, so it can't be too much more than that. That's the problem. You got to say like, I don't know, maybe £600 for 3 months, 1-to-1, where you actually get 1-to-1 calls. You then need to offer more value underneath that. So then they get more bonuses.
Yeah.
You then get 300 off, or you get 250 off, or whatever it is. But you need to make sure that you offer more value on top of that. That's really important, because otherwise they're just going to feel like they're getting the same thing.
Price increase and you're getting the same thing.
Yeah. So that's super important. Okay. So part 3 is the offer pricing. This is a really important point. I'll let you finish those notes though. Yeah, so for offer pricing, basically what we're trying to do is figure out how we're going to get the first like few people on, 3 to 5 people on as quickly as possible. And then basically what we do after that is we continue to put the pricing up until we get to the place we want. Like I didn't start on 3.4k, 5k for fitness coaching.
Yeah.
But what you can do is, for example, start on 150 for 6 weeks.
Yeah.
And then go to, for your 90-day package, you could then go to £100 or 150 for each month. So then you're going up, but yet you've actually got more because every client's worth 450. And then for the 90-day, you then go, it costs like 800 or 1,200. And then you go up again, up and up again. So for your offer pricing, like you haven't actually closed anyone yet, have you? You pitched the 1.2k the other day. Is it
6 months?
For 6 months. Okay. And 90. So you pitched the 6 months the other day, and you basically got.
I've pitched it a few times, and every time there's been a price issue.
Okay.
Then, as in, that's what they say, well, they're going to see enough value in it.
Yeah, so a big thing is the price issue is probably going to be partly closing and then also pricing issues. So you need to get your confidence with closing with pricing. So I would start honestly with like 150 for 6 weeks. It's literally nothing, but it's going to get a few people through the door. And I would do this for 3 people, and super high value. Like you can offer a lot of fucking value for this same thing. And then your aim should be to get to that 90-day for 1.2, in my thought.
Yeah.
1.2 for 90 days. And like, that's going to be what, 400 a month?
Yeah.
And then build it up all the way to like from 150 a month to 250 a month, all the way up to 400. So this is going to be the full stack, like 90 days, slow transformation, 1-to-1 coaching. And there's a bunch of stuff you can do about having different packages. Like you can have down sales, up sales, like your middle packages like bronze, gold, silver, all these things. And I was taught these a lot in the earlier days. But for me, it's like if you do that, you start to get confused what you're offering. You start to offer people different things. You can have a price anchor. This is actually the next bit. Anchor your payment options, because you can have a price anchor of how you basically do it. Of like the package you have, but actually at the start, I prefer to have a price anchor based on the payment options. So let's say you're doing a 90-day, the price anchor for the payment options is basically, I'll get this up, is actually not that they get any different service, but they get bonuses. They get bonuses and a better price for paying up front. So bonuses, better price for paying up front, if that makes sense. So a bonus you could do, 3-month Whoop subscription.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it Whoop because it's subscription based, but you could get a 3-month watch. And then another thing is you get an extra month free, for example. Yeah, you want to write these things down for sure. And then I always do it. I used to do a 12-month package where they got an extra month for free as well. So they got 13 months, but you could do a 3-month package where they get an extra month for free. Or something like that, or they get like £200 off or something. So they get an extra month free. They get some sort of bonus. You want anything up front, and you basically do it as an action takers discount. You call it an action takers discount for the 6-week package to start with. You could even say you charge something like, you could say you charge £200 a month, but then you normally do 3 months.
Yeah.
So £200 a month for 3 months. So it'd normally be 600 for 3 months, but you're doing an action takers like discount basically. And for 3 months coaching, you get it for £500 and then plus bonuses. And you want to think of good bonuses, because I just don't think 6 weeks is enough. And then it's not enough time, and you want to just stick with your actual thing. So you want to actually stick with your 90-day.
Yeah.
So 200, you charge 200 a month.
Yeah.
But you could even say 450 if they go straight away. So they save £150.
Yeah. Does that devalue it too much, do you think?
Nah.
That's 25% off.
Yeah, it's fine. You just want people through the door at the beginning. It's like when you haven't built a brand for the actual business, there's not really anything to do with devaluing, because you're not going to show this up front to anyone. You're not going to show this up front. As in, you're not going to tell anyone until they're actually on the sales call with you until the end.
Yeah.
That's your price. I'd get the first 3 people on that.
Yeah.
And then I'd very quickly try and get up to, that would be 150.
The same. So
that is 150 a month.
On that doing like 250.
I would even say you could do, it's not much at all, but you could even do like 400 if they piff. This is insanely high value.
Yeah.
So like it's 200 a month for 3 months.
3 months basically.
They get but it's 400 for the whole 3 months plus the good bonuses.
Yeah.
It's insanely valuable.
Yeah.
And then after you've done it with enough people, you could then switch to, let's say, 250 a month, which is 750, or £600 for the 90 days if they piff.
Yeah.
And then what that is like you're eventually getting to what that 200 a month would be. You're getting as a piff, and then eventually you'd want to increase it. Yeah. So then instead of 250, it's 350 a month or 300 a month. So it'd be 900 in total. But instead so it'd be 900 in total, but then instead it's like 700 if they piff.
Yeah.
See what I'm saying? And I'd get 2 to 3 people on every single one going up, and then just keep going up, and then only stop when the sales drop.
Yeah.
So if you go up and you take 10 sales calls and they start dropping, then just go back to the original price, see what happens then, and then creep it up and change the pricing again. Like you can reduce time, you can make, you can do different things to increase the value. So next thing is, always start with the highest anchor. So if you're going to do this, say like I normally charge 900 for 3 months. So if you're going to do 200 a month, I normally charge £600 for 3 months. But for the action takers discount, it's 400 plus you get this and that. Yeah. Because I see that the people that take the most action, they get the best results, stuff like that. Yeah. So you always need to start with the price anchor.
Okay, cool.
The next thing is calculate the numbers. Okay, so I'm going to get your Notion up. So calculate the numbers. So if let's say you start on, what do you want to hit first? Like what's your starting?
A month?
Yeah, a month.
3K?
3K. So you want to hit 3K a month. Let's say we get you up to this 900. Let's say we get you up to the 250, which is 750. Yeah. But each piff is worth 600, which is super low still.
It's called 5 people.
So you need 5 people on that. Let's say your close rate at that, I would say 60% if you do it right. You can generally have, it's £600.
Yeah.
But you can have a really good close rate on that. Like, especially if you're posting transformations, you're doing the right story sequences, you've actually got the right funnel with everything, you're warming people up, and then all it is £600. It's not really that much, because you could even collect deposit on the call if they're really nervous of £100, and they collect the remaining 500 off. Like, you can also, I'll make sure you're set up with certain payment providers like Stripe and fan bases. Yeah. Because then with that, you can split it up. If they're in the US, you can split it up by 12. If they're in the UK, you can split it up by 3. So that they can pay you up front, still get the buyer's taker's discount, but they actually still pay it monthly.
Yes.
Which is really good. So call shown, show rate. Let's say your show rate is, right now, is every call you book shown?
Apart from one, which was a bot.
How many calls have you booked?
Probably 4 or 5.
4 or 5, okay.
This guy didn't show them.
So let's say but that was second call. Let's say your show rate is 70%. Yeah. Let's just plug this into 2v2.
How many calls I need to be booking?
Yeah. So then the first thing you need to figure out is like calculate the numbers. Once you've figured out all the pricing, you've figured out the offer and everything, you need to calculate the numbers. So close rate 6%, sales calls needed, show rate 70%, calls booked 18. That's not too bad.
That's good. 1 every 2 days.
Calls shown.
It's very doable by getting that DM shit.
Calls shown is 9.
Right.
That's extremely doable. Yeah. Obviously that's
on the higher.
That's on the higher side. So let's say we reduce this to 40%.
Yeah.
let's say you close at 40%. I mean, if you're going to, like, you're literally getting sales training within everything that I do. And we have like a fucking insane sales training guy who's done multiple millions, and he has people close on 10 to 20 to 30k offers.
Yeah.
Where the people have to put down 10k, or some people, even if it's the lower ticket offers, is like 5k, but they'll be dealing with people that don't have much money. If you can get people that don't have much money to pay 5k, I'm sure we can get you to get people to pay 600. Because the thing is, guys, well, what you have to realize, like, I'm someone that I don't feel any sympathy for people at this point that don't invest in themselves, because I've been in a position where I had no money. I invested in myself, and it put me in a really good position. And it's like, yeah, there's never going to be a great time to invest in yourself. And you have to realize, like, if you're a fitness coach and people are giving you financial things, like, and they start making you feel bad for them, like, don't fall into their bullshit, because the reason why they're in the position they are today is because they haven't taken the actions that they should have taken to get out of the position. And if they were looking after their health, they had more energy, they were doing more with their life, they'd probably be earning more money anyway, because they'd be getting better jobs and stuff. So even at 40%, we need to book 19 calls and then 13 calls. So how many calls is that a day? So 19 divided by 4, 20, about like 5 calls a week.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
It's less than one, isn't it?
Okay, 5 calls a week.
Yeah.
So they're the numbers. We can screenshot that, put that there. It's very doable. Okay. So the next part 4. So the next part is cohort cap and clear deliverables. So basically what this means is capping how many people you get on to create some actual real scarcity, so you feel like you have scarcity. Because if you on the call generally know that you have scarcity, then they'll start to feel that.
Yeah.
So capping the amount of people you get on, and if it's about creating 3k per month to start with, then just say you'll only have 5 people on per month. So have 5 people on per month. In the long term, you want to massively increase this cap or completely get rid of a cap. In the short term, that can be useful. And then making sure you have clear deliverables, like focusing on your fulfillment, how you're going to deliver, what softwares you're going to use. And we'll go into that towards the end, actually, about what softwares you can use. In terms of refinement systems, we'll go into the softwares, because actually fitness coaching is more about the business side, the marketing. Inside the refinement systems is about having really good fulfillment. If you have such good fulfillment that people just continuously want to pay, and they continuously want to come back, and they continuously refer, then you could be a little bit less. You don't have to be as good, basically, with the business side of things. But if you're really good with the business side of things, you can pull loads of people in, and then you can also make it so that loads of people stay. Then that's the best thing. So we'll go into all of the softwares and everything and how to set that up. But you want really clear deliverables and like a cap on everything. And then the second part of part 4 is you want a continuity bolt on to keep the profit high. So you have MOR, because with fitness coaching, what most people do wrong is you have all these people that come in through. You're getting 3k like closes, you're getting 1k closes, you're getting 2k closes, and then they finish the program, they leave, and you get nothing. So what you want for the continuity is you want to probably charge them around 75%. I do anywhere between like 40, depends on the service you're doing, but like 40 to 80% of what the original charge was. So what you could do is, let's say you charge someone 200 per month.
Yeah.
250 per month.
Yeah.
At the end of their 6 months, you can have them on for 150 per month recurring. And what they have is there's slightly less in the package.
Okay. So 200 drop down to 150, for example.
250 drop down to 150. It's like quite big. And basically, if they want to get that 150, they'd have to go through the whole 6 months again if they stop.
Right.
So they can't just like stop and then come back.
No,
they
come
want.
back. Can't. Yeah, come back. Too low offer.
If you really want to focus on MRR, you can, and you have like a train or something,
so
you can actually keep people on the exact same deliverables, but for a lower amount. So after the 3 months, whatever your core offer is. I've done upsells, I've done downsells, I've actually done keeping, like, just renewing people on the same offer. They all work. This basically is a downsell, and it has the highest rate of just keeping people on. Like most people, if you've got them on for like 3k, and then that's for 3 months, which is 1k a month, or you got them on for 3k UK for 6 months, which is 500 a month, and then you say to them, okay, yeah, we can continue on, all you have to do is pay 250 per month, and they've spent 3k on you, it doesn't feel like a big deal for them to continue. And then if they go and they can't continue,
but yeah, and they have got the most value, because you're going to get the most value out of that first period.
So
That makes sense.
It's way easier for you. You can keep the deliverables the same, but it's way easier for you. So yeah, that's the first bit. Like, do you have any questions on that?
No.
Or does that feel clear?
No, that feels really clear.
Okay. And like, what do you feel like the actions are for you then, based on?
Actions are, I need to refine all of this that we've gone through, really get that key statement in my bio, on my Instagram. I feel like I might need to fix my CTA a little bit and how I funnel people. We're going to get into that.
Yeah, we'll go into that in the next.
With this, I feel like now much more clear on what I'm actually offering and who I'm helping, which is really good.
Yeah.
And it's like, it sounds a lot more specific. Like the value is very clear, while I'm not really reducing my audience that much, because most of my audience will fall in that bracket somehow.
Yeah,
Which
exactly.
is what's good. But when I read it, if I was looking into it, I'd feel like I know exactly what I'm going to get out of the coaching.
Yeah, I would get clear on exactly your like, make sure that you're happy with your avatar. Get clear on your one promise.
Yeah.
Get clear on the value you're going to give them.
Yeah.
Get clear on the risk reversal. So like, this is pretty clear, but just like refine the guarantee so you know exactly the guarantee, so you could say it on a sales call if you wanted to.
Yeah.
Get clear on the pricing you're going to offer now.
Yeah.
And then also get clear on the pricing you're going to offer after. So that you know, after you've signed 3 people, this is the pricing I'm going to go on to.
Yeah.
And then also get clear on like the bonuses that you're going to give to people.
Yeah.
And the price anchor.
Yeah.
So like, what is it that you're going to charge for standard? If they pay up front, how much you're going to charge then, and what bonuses they're going to give. We already know the amount of calls you need to book and everything for this. The pricing we kind of have down 600. And then after that, get really clear on the continuity downside. I feel like the client cap is 5 because we know we need 5 for that 3K to be hit.
Yeah.
As soon as we hit 5 clients anyway, we're going to be going up. Like, we're going to get you to like 1.2K closes, and you're only going to need 2 or 3 of them per month to actually hit the goals you want.
Yeah.
But then get clear on that continuity downside so that we can just have that there.
Yeah.
And base it more on a percentage of the amount you're charging, because you want it to change based on the amount you're charging. Like, you don't want to, if right now you're charging 600, which is like 200 a month.
Yeah.
And then you go 100. When you're charging 1.2K, you don't want to be charging 100.
Yeah.
So just think about what percentage you'd be happy to. So like, maybe like,
would you normally stick to that percentage for all your offers? Or?
Yes, I stick to a rough guideline, because if it's like
40 to
40K,
80 is quite a big gap.
yeah, so I would stick to like, I do more anywhere between, mine's between like 60 and 80. Because if it's a really high priced offer, then I'll have it slightly lower. And also, I don't want it to be an unusual number.
Because
Because
keep it the same for everyone that wants to.
yeah, that wants to continue, because they're getting a massive offer, because they're getting on that downside.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, it's unfair if you give everyone, it's basically devalues yourself if you give something to one person cheaper than something to the other person.
Yeah, so this is almost just another offer for people that want a fixed offer, basically.
Yeah, literally that. It's like a fixed offer for people that have already been with you, and they don't have to. You can even create price anchors on this, so that they get, not only do they get a discount from renewing anyway, but that they get a discount for actually paying up front to renew. So they could pay 600.
Yeah.
So you could have your offer as 1.2K.
Yeah.
For 3 months.
Yeah.
Which is 400 a month.
Yeah.
Your continuity downsell.
Yeah.
Is 300 a month.
900. Yeah.
Or 250.
Yeah.
So it's 750.
Yeah.
And then you could say, if you do it today, you get it for 600.
Would you ever go and tap into like if you did this today, like the deliverables you get will be the same as what you had before? Because you said and mentioned the thing about like slightly.
Yeah, but I think normally when you've trained someone for 2 to 6 months, they're really easy to keep going.
Just keep the same.
They don't need anywhere near as much support.
Yeah.
They're normally way accountable by then.
Yeah.
They're in better shape. They know what to do more.
Yeah.
It's like much more casual the way you train them. What I would do is just do like a double downsell on them, even on the call, because it seems very high value.
Yeah.
It's like, you could say, but don't reduce it as much if you're going to do that. So you could say, basically what we could do,
almost like a haggle, is, and you kind of know the price you're going to go down to with the double downsell, but you start the first one a bit higher.
So you could say, if you charge 1,200, which is 400, you could say 900 if you pay 300 every month, or you can do 750 if you come on now. And then they do 3 months for 750, which is 250 a month, and you get out front.
Yeah.
Awesome. And then we'll go, after this, we'll go into the premium buyer ecosystem. We're going to go into the conversion map and the refinement systems. So this is going to be everything you need.
Yeah.
If you implement this over the next 3 months, for sure you get to 10K.
Yeah.
What time is it? It's about 7:30 in Bucharest now. We're going to go over the next part. We're actually not going to go into the premium buyer ecosystem yet. That's exactly how to basically get premium buyers in your IG ecosystem or in whatever social media ecosystem you're having, so that you convert like readily, like buy ready people that want to actually buy your thing, and they actually have the money that you need to charge them to actually get them on. That's why they're called premium buyers, because they're not just standard buyers. They actually can afford your high ticket packaging, and they're within your ecosystem, so they're nurtured by you. But in the earlier stages, what you can do, like Bertie's been wanting to launch this offer for a while, and he's just not launched it yet, is you can do what I call quick cash activities. So we're going to go into quick cash activities first, this thing here, and it involves a few things. So firstly, there's 7 steps to it. Is story sequence, announcement, story with CTA, targeting, ICP with time urgency, and then recap the offer and bonus the day after that, and then sold out story the day after that with YouTube CTA. And that YouTube CTA can be YouTube VSL, and this can connect into your premium buyer ecosystem. And then what you also want is follow-ups with all non-sales calls, cap new clients and focus on fulfillment, and then you can focus on reviews, results, and resales. So what we're going to start on, and also for this to work, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over the 7 things. We're going to go into DM setting in more detail, because you have, like you've been showing me, you got all those DMs that you want to convert. Yeah. And then we're going to go into belief-based closing as well, but very briefly. Yeah. We've gone into that a lot. You're like pushing calls now. You're not just like basically when someone says, I don't have the money, saying, oh, okay. Yeah. No. And you're going to get price objection at the beginning because you haven't set things up. Like you haven't got a proper premium buyer ecosystem, basically. So you're just trying to convert anyone. And then we're going to go into the YouTube VSL, and we're going to go into that very briefly as well, because that also comes into this bit. We're just going to run over it very, very briefly. If not, we might not run over it. We might just wait until we're into the second bit. But yeah, let's get into it. So story sequence, the first thing we want to do is do a story sequence. So like, do you know much about story sequences?
Yeah, I kind of know what they are. You're posting stories that set up a potential clients over a period of time, instead of just, one that just do this and then it doesn't work. You're kind of building people's engagement up over a certain amount of time to the point where they go, actually, I'm going to try this sort of thing. Apart from that, no, I don't really know how to structure one that well. I do it with some of my stuff and not really to coaching clients.
Yeah, okay, that's cool. I mean, what we're going to start with is a story stack. Okay. And basically what that is it's a story sequence, but this one is for your actual story yourself. So basically, for example, this is one of the ones that I did. I've been in the fitness coaching space for well over 5 years now. Decided to make some whatever. This isn't exactly in order because I copied these photos. I can go to my Instagram now. My thing actually got banned because I put about drugs in. So like one of the posts got banned. But I've been in the fitness coach for well over 5 years now. Like it all started with me being super unconfident in my physique and doing nothing about it. Yeah. And unfortunately for a while, I continued to do everything but make a positive change. And I started working out. I started to dial in and help my mates around me get the same results. But you'd want better photos here. Like I've obviously done this super quickly. Yeah. Because like I have a lot of clients, this was just to get one on my highlights, but you actually want to use this with a CTA. Despite making some progress in the gym, I still didn't understand nutritional training and then just felt naked. You want to obviously make sure that's spelt right. Like I've just done this super quickly, which is bad. But in time, I learned how to build habits and the right thing. I started doing more in my life. This is what you do more for. I think having one of them in your highlights is very good. Yeah. But I also would do this with quick cash activities to like generate some income now. Because at the end of the day, your goal is 3K. Yeah. Super doable. Yeah. I even ran a marathon. I learned how to make progress whilst enjoying my life, like touching on their pain points. Yeah. Community was passionate, showing loads of results, showing more results, like more testimonials. And then I had hundreds of guys getting incredible save, and then a CTA at the end. But you can do the CTA much better. So that's a really basic way of doing it. Obviously, I didn't really do that way as well as you possibly could, but that's because I have so many results. Like I just have this is only 3 results, but like if I go in here, like a lot of the ones I can't actually go through all of my coaching things because there's so many. Like this is another one. Boom, boom, boom. Go into this one, like it just goes on for fucking ages. Like look how many clicks I can do. Yeah. And I got loads of reviews. Like I've got loads of time training. I've got loads of people that will speak about it and give me testimonials, but you don't have that. So your story sequence needs to be so hard because that's probably one of the main ones that you'll have pinned up onto there. So what you would basically do here is I'll just like give you the link. But basically how it works is you do a photo and video, and basically that's like a raw unfiltered picture. You're basically going through your story. I don't know if you've heard of the hero's journey. So if you want to get really good with it, you could do like the hero's journey, which is like this. Every time you tell a story, you do the hero's journey. If you guys see my YouTube videos, I'm going to be real with you. I've used the hero journey to help me do the YouTube videos. I am like being completely honest with my YouTube videos, but it has to, if it's not logical, if it doesn't fit in the way that like makes sense, it doesn't make sense. Like I always make sure that everything I do is genuine, is real, but then you're just positioning it in a way that's easiest to like understand and take in value. So hero's journey is basically showing them how you go around the story, how your story went from you being where you are now into the position where you are. So for example, the ordinary world, you being there, call to adventure, you wanting something to change, refusal of the call, like you deciding to not necessarily make the change because something happened. I'm meeting a mentor, something happened, you met someone, you might have met a mate, might be me, I might have just completely turned into an absolute G. But then something happened for them to do it. You cautioning first of all, test allies, enemies, start times when you wanted to give up, times when you didn't want to carry on. Approach the inmost cave, like when it got really fucking hard and you're like, nah, like really can't do it. The ordeal is like when you finally come to the point where it's like you're fighting the dragon and you slay the dragon. It's like you versus the dragon. Like you versus like the thing that actually sorts you out from getting in shape. And then you claim the sword, you being in shape, like being all this good, and then everything goes down like that basically. So a more simple way of doing it is like you're showing raw unfiltered pictures of yourself, you're introducing the pain points, your personal journey, doing video explanation of philosophy and insights, like your revelation, introduce your mechanisms, which for you right now you don't have. We'll get into that more, but like introduce what you did to like get yourself in that shape. Like you could already mention, for example, we've spoken about you having the whole thing where it's like you're helping people go without tracking any food. So you're doing all of that, trying to make it as related to your ICP as possible. Show the transformation, show client success stories if you have them. If not, you can just like speak about people that you've helped. If you've helped some people, you can just message them saying like, hey man, can you send me a few messages of like how helpful I was for this and that. It's that simple. Like, let's say you even helped Harry, your mate. You can just be like, hi man, can you just send me a message saying like, oh, like if I was helpful for you when I was training with you in the gym. And he's just be like, yeah man, like Bertie was super useful for me. Like he helped me just stay consistent in the gym. Simple as that. And then your call to action at the end. And your call to action needs to be really good. But yeah, you want to follow that. So that's the first step.
And how and over what period does that go out on story?
This is all in one stack.
In one day?
One day. So it's like before and the other. So like imagine that's one story. You're just going boom, 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 boom. And
I have them ready all in drafts and I just put them all out at once.
Yeah, so you get them all ready in photos. You get all the photos ready. Basically, the whole hero's journey thing is just if I can click it. The whole hero's journey is just literally unfolding in front of them, like as they're watching through the thing.
So you don't want someone to click on the first one and have come back an hour later and see the next one. You want to see them all in one go.
All in one go. It's like unfolding in front of them.
Okay.
And then so you do the story sequence. And then if anything, you don't always have to do a CTA with it. So you could do the story sequence to warm them up. And if you wanted, you could then give like a free YouTube video at the end for what you did. So yeah, you could do the story this way. The quick cash is like, you're going to do the story sequence with the either CTA being something for free, like free value CTA, or not one at all. So NA. So you could either do like free as like YouTube, cheat sheet, anything like that. And you don't want to be doing this stuff all the time. Like, if anything, the time when you like offer these YouTubes and cheat sheets, it's only going to be in the really fucking early days. Like, in the long term, like you're not going to do many CTAs at all.
So they wouldn't do a CTA saying like DM me.
No,
this if you want to change.
This comes in tomorrow. So you could just do this, and then you could at the end have something like, you could even do a Q&A, right? Like at the end, like any questions. Okay. Anything like that. Like, and does anyone have any questions to get in better shape? But I would just do like a YouTube video, maybe, if you have one, or something. Like you could do a YouTube video about more about your story. That would work really well. So you could have a My Story YouTube video. I'll just do an S. My Story YouTube video before. So what you want to do actually here is, instead of just doing this one on day one like that, just doing the story sequence, is film. You could literally film it here where we're at now, the My Story. Following this hero one, I can show you. I actually have a whole document of how to build the My Story, so we can go over that as well. Cool. And then basically what you're doing with the My Story is you're literally just building this out. I'll show you the My Story really quickly now of how I did it from my hitting 35k a month. I've done multiple My Stories. I continue to do them. Okay. So like, this is the whole My Story of building the fitness business. Is like, so the ordinary world is like me having dyslexia, ADHD, really bad grading scores, bad at sports, starting to do well at A levels, to go to university. I like started really enjoying the gym because I finally started making progress in something. Then I went to university. So in here I could even talk about like me going to the secondary school, doing weekend school, all this sort of stuff. It's like the ordinary world, what was ordinary for me at the time, the fact that I wanted to change. Call to action. By the end of year 2, I wanted to make a change. I didn't just want to be doing what I was doing the whole time. Like, I didn't just want to be carried on, like get a job, going to 9 to 5, just do the same thing everyone else. Like, I had this thing where I wanted to start doing something different. Decided to start doing online fitness coaching. Went home after passing my business degree, was skeptical about myself and like kind of influenced by other people. So I ended up getting the real estate job. I met a mentor, like went to Hong Kong and then met Will Courtney. And even though he wasn't like my mentor that got me there, he introduced me to the group of other people. So he kind of was like my mentor. And then I ended up like investing in that, going into that, meeting Judith's setting mentor, who like, this is the crossing the threshold. When I quit my job, I went all in into, oh no, not even quitting my job. This is me like deciding, fuck it, I'm going to go to Bulgaria. I'm going to spend my birthday there with all these guys, testing allies. Like I wanted to learn appointment setting, but I was really struggling. I was literally doing hours and hours a day. I'd invested loads into another mentor and it wasn't really working. And then like the approach to Inmost K, like at this point, they're testing allies. I'm trying to learn appointment setting. I'm in Bulgaria. I start my job soon, so I'm not at my hardest point yet. But like it's not working. I spent even more.
Sneeze, hold on.
Yeah, go. Let's go to the front. But it's not working. I've spent even more on mentorships. And then the actual fucking Inmost K was when I quit my job, even though I wasn't doing as well as I said I was doing, and just went all in. Because at that point it's most pressure. The ordeal is like 2 weeks later from that, I ended up like basically earning a bunch of money, and I had like hardly any amount in my bank account, and I basically had like 1,500 on the mastermind. No, the ordeal, first 2 weeks I literally closed no one. The ordeal is like when it's still an issue. The first 2 weeks I quit my job, I still closed no one. I spent loads of on a mastermind and all this sort of stuff. I had no money left in my bank account, and I now had no job. I just had some cash, that was it. And then the seasonal thing is like when everything changed, I earned 8.2k in the month in the end. I finally had earned more than I would from a 9 to 5, actually like 3 times more. The road back is me going home, me then traveling to all these different places. The resurrection was like me then having all the issues in, like again, like having all the issues in Thailand, going through all that stuff. And then the return with the elixir is like me going back home to the UK with a stronger mindset, everything like better principles, better like knowledge to then apply to the business.
Yeah.
Do you see how it works?
Yeah.
Do you see how you could apply that to fitness?
Yeah, 100%.
Like with fitness, it's the same thing. Like testing the allies is like when you're like really trying to go to the gym, you're struggling. Let's say like you're trying to do the weights, but you're just not lifting more.
Yeah.
And it might be the approach to Inmost Cave is like you get super ill and then you go back and maybe like mates are laughing at you, or like you're feeling really self-conscious, like, I don't know, whatever happens, sort of thing. Okay, cool. So yeah, that's the first thing you want to do. So first thing you want to do is do the My Story sequence with a My Story ETA. Yeah. And then the second thing is announcement story with CTA targeting, ICP, with time urgency. So you do this the day after, the day or two after. So basically what you're doing with this one is you're announcing your coaching.
Yeah.
And then you're also announcing the coaching with the fact that you only have, it's only open for 48 hours or whatever it is. Yeah. I would do a short amount of time, like 36 hours, 30 hours, 24 hours, whatever you want. I wouldn't do necessarily 24 because a lot of people use that. I would do like a slightly different version of that. And you could even say, if you want, it's quite basic. A lot of people see this, but you can even say like, I'm only taking on 3 people for the next 48 hours. Once the slots go, they're capping, and give a reason for why they're capping, because people see that all the time. Like, why are they capping? Because you want to genuinely focus on the people that you have, because you don't train many people, and basically like you can even use the fact that you haven't trained many people to your advantage, that you want to really focus on these guys getting in the best transformations. You can even say like, unlike other big time fitness coaches with loads of clients, like I actually want to work with everyone one-to-one, and do this as a sequence as well. So with this sequence, you can almost repeat a bit about your story, show a few like maybe client things that you've had, like if anyone has messaged you and all that sort of stuff, and show your transformation in this again. So in this second one, when you announce the story, when you announcement story, like you also want to do this sequence. You don't just want to do, everyone just does one post where it's like, I'm taking on 3 clients for X, Y, Z. It's just like so shit.
So where would you place that story in the sequence?
That story right at the end. So the announcement story is an announcement story sequence. So you're building a sequence that builds up to a CTA.
Okay.
And then once you've done the CTA, you then go into time urgency. So you can have a CTA that says 3 people only.
So you build out the sequence, and then your last 2 stories almost your CTA, and then the last one is the urgency.
Yeah.
So you want to build out a bit of a sequence before that, showing.
Yeah. And then you could even add a story after that with bonuses. Okay. Story after slash exclusivity. Like this is the last time this month I'm going to be doing this, or this is the last time this year I'm going to be doing this.
Oh, it's not.
Because the thing is, you won't do loads of shit like this. because you'll get people in the DMs.
Right.
You unless they just do, or like you could have your bonuses and be like, this is the last time this year these bonuses will be available. Like I'm going to do this with these bonuses. Something you just want to think about that.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, and then because you have a time frame of like 48 hours, 24 hours, the story you want to do after that is you want to do like 2 to 3 stories, like recapping the offer, bonuses, and urgency into one more CTO.
And that's the day after that.
Yeah, and it's like a very gentle CTO. So you want this one much more relaxed. Guys, this is literally the best way to collect some quick cash, because then we're going to go into setting flow. How you're going to be setting all these people, and hopefully get as many, like a load of basically messages. So like a gentle CTA is like a bit more relaxed. Like if you're thinking about getting in shape, like it's worth just seeing if this is the right fit for you guys. Just something really chill. You can always like ask me about this. And then after that, you want a sold out story the day after that. And this is a video for sure. Video. I'll do a head because it needs to be a talking head video. Like this, just you going like you could even cut it off early. Like guys, we've had to cut it off early because we've already maxed out the spaces. It's really great to have everyone on board. I'm super excited. Now it's time to put in the work. You could even tag the people you got on. Works really well to tag them on. And you could even tag people. And when someone closes, after the close, you can take a photo of, after let's say someone closes, over the few days, you can take a photo of them, and then you could post it on, when you do the whole, like all the spots like closed, on the story after you've done the video, you can like put all the photos up and tag everyone and just put like, now this is when the real work begins.
What would you do in the circumstance that this doesn't close anymore? Or you just go into
you still do the sold out.
Okay.
Still do the sold out. You just don't do the photo after. Yeah. If it doesn't close anyone, all it's going to do is nudge people a bit more. Because the reason why I won't close anyone is if the DM setting isn't right. Or you don't get any messages. But from the position you're at, you're likely going to get messages. Even if you've got a small account, this can really work. I've seen this work on accounts with like 500 following. Right. That they've closed people. Yeah. Got like a good few people on. And then the next thing is you do the follow-ups with non-booking sales. So I would then move them to my VSL, YouTube VSL, if you have them. If you have a YouTube VSL, then you could do that.
Anyone that you interacted but you never closed or got
like,
into it.
Yeah, didn't get into close. And YouTube VSL basically sells them more in your program. But if you don't have that, which you won't at this time because we're doing this, is I would do it to your My Story YouTube. So like get them into long form, your My Story YouTube. Or you could get them into something like you could even get them if you could, on a second call. Obviously, that's ideal. That's what you want, like a reschedule or something like that. You want to do that before the VSL if you can. It all depends how busy you are. Like if this has been a really successful launch, you can just focus on your people that you have, then film a YouTube VSL and follow up with all the non-bookings with the YouTube VSL. If it's been a really successful launch, you don't have time to finish the VSL, you can then send the YouTube My Story video, the long form, in case you haven't watched it. If it hasn't been a successful launch, I would just literally focus on trying to book these people like back in, basically. Either way, the YouTube VSL and the My Story is going to nurture them to be booked in for the future.
What exactly is a VSL? Because I still don't really.
It's a video sales letter. So it basically acts as like a sales call, but as a video.
Okay.
And it runs them through stuff like your testimonials, your story, your offer, like why basically it attacks the pain points they have. It attacks any concerns they have. It like highlights who's this for to target your ICP, who's this not for. It like basically removes a lot of barrier to entry for them so that they're more buy ready and they're more nurtured. So they then like more likely to hop on a call with you or buy from you. And then
we just run through what you do in each scenario then. So if it goes well and then you get to this stage, what are we doing if it goes well and I'm full of like fulfillment?
Yeah, okay. So what happens then is like we're going to assume it goes well, because I'm assuming it will, is that you cap new clients, and this is the only time you'll cap clients. Right. This is literally the only time you'll cap clients. You don't cap clients in any situation, but this time I've done a little extra tick. And that is because you don't ever want to cap clients, because you always want to make sure your marketing system is pumping and moving and you're always moving forward. So you're always generating new leads, you're always booking more calls, you're always doing more sales. You never want the business to stop.
Yeah.
Because then if you have churn for clients, your business revenue will go massively down. Because like you got to think in the future, if you're doing 2K PIFs, like full closes, paid in fulls, and someone comes off at the end and you get a new person on, it means you consistently can earn 10K a month or 20K a month or 30K a month, because as one person falls off, you're getting a new person on.
Yeah.
So you never want to cap.
So why do we cap that new clients in this scenario?
Because the focus is going to be massively on fulfillment.
Okay.
So then the focus becomes massively on building out all fulfillment. And then after that, it goes into towards the end, it goes building out fulfillment for the 4 Rs. Because you build out the fulfillment so that at the end of the 6 weeks or whatever you have, you can do reviews, results, referrals, and resales.
Is that cool?
And that's the main focus. And after like a week or two, you can uncap it and start doing more DMs. And start getting back. You're not going to launch another quick cash activity like this because it's too much. Like, you don't want to be doing this hardly at all. If you've done CTAs, this probably isn't going to work for you, but you've hardly ever done CTAs.
Yeah.
You've done CTAs before, but super unsuccessful, like shit ones, basically. That just haven't been that good. So this can still definitely work for you. And then at the end, you're focusing on reviews, results, referrals, and resales. So you're going into this for the first week or two, you're just focusing on fulfillment as much as possible. So that at the end of their program, you can get loads of reviews, testimonials. You can normally get that in the first 2 weeks because people tell you how much they like it in the first few weeks. You can get their WhatsApp messages, like people saying this is amazing, really enjoying it. You can then get at the end of the program, the results, the before and afters, and then you can also get the resales. So you can then upsell them or downsell them. Again, like we mentioned before, kind of like with this, you're most likely to be downselling them on the continuity. You're most likely to be downselling them on the continuity bolt-on offer, And then that will create MRR, which is monthly recurring revenue. Yeah, let's see the notes we've got. Okay, quick cash activity. My story sequence, announcement story sequence, only open for 36 hours, for example. Yeah, and after story bonus exclusivity. This is the last time I'm doing it. Yeah, you're just basically trying to hype it up as much. And like the Alex emoji
build up.
I paid 6K into that because I felt urgency.
He's also been building that up for so long.
Yeah, and then on the thing, I was watching it, and he kept building up. He kept repeating stuff. He repeated the same thing so many times to build it up. 2 to 3 story sequence, recap, offer, bonus, urgency, gentle CTA. Yeah. So because you've kind of done a CTA here. Yeah. But that's to nurture them, start the nurture a little bit. The people that really care and are likely to mess you here will probably watch this. Yeah. Some of them will. And then you do your proper thing. And then you're doing a second CTA, but it's a much softer CTA. Then you're doing your sold out story and then the talking head video and then into a CTA at the end because the CTA will most likely be your VSL, my story, or some sort of long form value. So for CTA again into YouTube value. So that could be VSL, my story. Because once you've done so many CTAs at this point, you might as well just keep going. Like you can also call this super soft if you are, but like you want to position this as a favor to everyone that missed out. Which is why VSL is really good because you do your VSL as almost like a hidden VSL. Yeah. So it doesn't seem like you're trying to sell them. It's not like this is my program. It's like giving them free value on how to do it, but then it all relates into your program. Okay. So even though it's you giving someone free value on exactly what to do, it's just you nurturing someone into your program. And then follow my story, count new clients, and then focus on the 4s. Yeah, that's perfect. Cool. Nice. Do you have any questions on that? No, I think that's good. Okay. I mean, let's go quickly then we'll save the YouTube VSL. Yeah. For when we go over the premium buyer ecosystem, because that massively converts into there, creating a really fucking strong VSL. Yeah. Within the whole nurture system. Yeah. But then we'll go over belief-based closing. Do you have any questions on that? On belief-based closing? As in closing people, not just based on like logic, like we're going to help you gain 1 kg, lose 1 kg. Yeah. Which people know that they want to do that, but there's mindset beliefs that have stopped them from taking it. Right. So you have to close them based on their beliefs, as we've kind of been going over. Okay. We'll go into this more, but do you have any questions on the base closing?
Well, which bit, what we've just been over, does that link into?
As in, no, me and you have just gone over this personally.
Right, yeah. I was going to say, I don't think it linked into what we just done. But yeah, I kind of get that. I don't really know what that is that much.
As in, like, when you're closing people. Yeah. And instead of just, like, being like, oh, this is my program, do you want it? Like, yeah, like, where are you trying to get to in terms of your weight? Where are you trying to, how are you trying to look? You're like closing them based on their beliefs. Yeah. And this is how you can hit the higher ticket thing. Yeah. Because you're closing people like, okay, well, how long, Jack, has it been since you wanted to get in better shape? Yeah. So, and like, what is it that actually makes you want to make the change?
Yeah, as in, it's kind of the way of like making them realize that that's the decision they got to make for themselves.
Yeah,
for rather than me trying to sell them a product.
Yeah, this is super important, guys, and we'll go over this. This is super important, guys, and we'll go over this in conversion map. I mean, we need to go over this a bit more. Yeah. I mean, we need to book some more calls first. Your closing, I've seen, is good enough for us to do some closes. On your offer, it's only £600. It's probably like 800, 900 US. So we'll go over this more in conversion map, but really, that's the whole thing of just like getting people to realize that they want to make a decision. Yeah. Getting to realize what is it about their current identity and their current selves that stop them from making a decision. What happens if they don't make a decision? Where will they be if they don't make a decision? What has caused them to be in the position they are now? what actions they need to take to be in the position they want to be. It's like asking them questions instead of just telling them what they want. Yeah. Like, before you can coach someone, you need to understand someone's situation. You need to understand someone's mindset, and you need to understand what has caused them to be in the position they are in. And even though it's a sales call, that's basically what you're trying to do. And that's what belief-based closing is. But we'll go into the setting flow first. So we'll just go on the DMs here. We're going to go more into actually the closing framework. I'll get the setting framework. We're going to go into the closing framework and the setting framework in conversion map and basically how to get people across the line. But to start with, we're literally just going to be reviewing Bertie's DMs. It's like there's quite a few DMs to review. But basically, this is what you're trying to get, really. You're trying to qualify them just by getting age and country, really. Yeah. I do quite low qualification. And then I just increase the amount of calls being booked. And then just like if someone's not a fit on the call, I either just downsell them or just don't take them on. It's a slightly more longer process, but I find like it does increase sales by a small bit. Okay. Because instead of overly qualifying people and doing less sales calls, you put more effort in because you take more sales calls, but then you don't have to do as much work in the DMs. Yeah. And like you can choose either way. I would say to start with, not overly qualifying them is the better way of doing it. Yeah, just get more sales calls, get more practice as well. So qualification, current situation, goal situation, time, struggles, and then the 3-pitch formula, which like you don't just say to them, let's have a call. It's like you need to pitch help, pitch call, and then pitch link or pitch details.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's what we're going to need to work on. So I'm terrible. As soon as it comes to the bit where I'm like, I wanted them to move on, and I'm like, okay, I know what they want, blah, blah, and I know what they're struggling with, and I know they're qualified. I just go like, man, what we should do is, well, you'll see.
Okay.
What I mean.
Is there any...
Go to general.
Is there any combos you want me to review in particular?
We could do Luca because he's someone I had before. He reached out to me a while ago about coach, and then I followed up with him I think earlier today, and I've had this conversation with him today. And he kind of an ICP. He's a bit of an older. He's about 30, I think. But he wants to drop weight. Lose muscle, and he's a busy guy.
This is perfect. This is absolutely perfect.
I've got no idea. Hey Luca, what's up? Great to have you message me, coach. Obviously, you're interested in some one-to-one coaching with me. So just if you might be a good fit for me and make sure that I can actually get you very hard you're looking to reach your goals, just give me a quick a message just describing your situation, and I'm listening to that. It was one of those things long ago. They called this these are guys I've come a long way. I'll go from there.
Me and Bertie have literally been working.
I literally pitched him on the first voice now as well. So that's 3 weeks ago I was doing that.
Yeah, me and Bertie have been working pretty one-to-one, and he is definitely improving quite a lot. So what's happened here is basically Luca has messaged coach. Bertie's said like, let's see if you're a good fit for me. He basically said, let's see if you're a good fit for me. Let's see if we can do coaching. Let's understand your struggles and let's get a call in, all into one voice note. Yeah. And then you put, what's up, Luca, just following up, man. Which is like today. Yeah, but like the word just following up, man, is like, you're then like telling him what you're doing.
Oh, okay.
It's like, yo, man, just moving you to the next stage of the pipeline.
Okay. All right. What would you say? That this is just me going through today, and I wanted to reignite some conversations.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's bad. It's not like that bad. It's not like, oh, hey, Luca.
I say this the exact thing that most people are. What I'm trying.
What's up, Luca? Just following up, man. I used to do this. It's not bad, but now the thing is like the word follow up is being used so much in the industry that people are starting to get used to it. Like even people that aren't in sales or the industry, that what follow up means.
Yeah, follow up. Yeah. Just you're trying to keep selling something.
Yeah.
Everyone knows you'll follow up. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I once had a setter say like, "Hey man, just moved you into the next booking process" or something like that, and I was like, "What?" Like you don't want to. It wasn't actually that bad. It wasn't quite that level, but you don't want to be showing them that you're doing that.
Oh, yeah.
Like
that was bad from him.
Yeah.
Okay.
You want all your funnel to be secret. So if you've got a follow up process, you want it to be like secret, but this isn't too bad. Like follow up is quite a normal word to use. Hey, sorry man, I've just forgotten to reply. How are you? So like this is just a long message, and the voice note is good because it's normally interactive for them, but it's just it's quite hard for them to get back to because they got to listen to it and then think about what they want to reply. Yeah. So you need a very clear question at the end of the voice note for them to reply to. So hey man, I forgot to reply. How are you? Because he's obviously listened to it, thought I'll reply later and just not reply it. And every fitness guy, man, every guy that needs fitness coaching is just delaying actions all the time. The reason why they're in the position they're in is because they just delay everything. So you have to make it as easy as possible. How are you? Also, even that is him delaying getting back into the coaching.
Because he wants to just talk about something.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. If I'm speaking to a business coach, I'm not going to message how are you? I'm going to be like, okay, like, what the next steps once I get set up, so that I understand what's going to happen. But they are going to try and delay.
This is why I'm finding it quite hard to direct the conversation. I kind of get it into fitness.
Okay, this is fun.
I get it into fitness quite well.
I'm very good, man. Thanks for asking. How are things going with your fitness journey?
Because I know he knows that that's why we were talking before. That's why he should be adjusted and like messaging me. So I just go in with like, and if they come and say like, so I've had a couple of guys say like, oh, you're just trying to sell me on a program. I'll just like reply with, no man, I just like connecting with my followers based. If this is something I naturally like organically a conversation I've brought up, I'll be like, no, I just really like connecting with my followers through fitness. As you can see, that's what I post about and that's what I'm passionate about. So like,
yeah, that's fine. So get them back into the normal combo of fitness.
but I just find it quite I find a lot of these guys are just trying to have a conversation with me. It's like my friend.
Yeah.
And I find it quite hard to keep it.
Okay, you got 4%. So we're just going to go into the basics. So you only got 4% charge. But first thing I'd say is like, okay, how did the things go in fitness journey? You could improve that, but like you could make it a bit more conversational in a way. But I actually don't mind this that much because he's interacted. He's messaged you, coach, get back into this. Not bad. I'm very overweight, and despite me playing football and trying to get back into it, I'm still not doing well there. You on the other side have a great body. Congrats. So I would, instead of saying thanks, man, I appreciate that. That just like doesn't show him that you're really listening. So I'd be like, okay, got you, like playing football a lot, but like still really overweight and struggling to lose it. And then I put like, I appreciate that, man. Yeah, like feeling really good at the moment. So then you can then acknowledge that. You need to acknowledge this sent to us first.
I feel like I tend to acknowledge that, like, I feel like I have to get the like reply of like a normal like cheers for saying that, because a lot of people say nice stuff or like your content's great.
Yeah,
Like I had to get that reply out away first, so then they move on to the next part of the conversation.
nah, you want to
They're having the next part, and then
yeah, you can reply to that first if you want. Like, yeah, you on the other side of a great body. You could, if I'm going to reply to that, I'd literally click that little reply button, but here, so I actually reply to it physically. Like, look, now it's like telling me I'm replying to this, especially with little things like that. And then this thing, I would just then continue the conversation. So you could reply to that, click the reply button. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I'm feeling really great at the moment. Hype yourself up a bit.
yeah.
I'm very overweight and playing football. Okay, so like you're playing football, but like struggling to lose a lot of weight. Basically, it's hard for him. Like he's for trying to lose weight, but he's clearly not doing stuff. Like he says, he's trying to get back into it, but he's clearly not doing that much. Bad eating habits, stressful job. Why do you think you struggle to lose weight? Okay. Bad eating habits, stressful job, living by myself, all factors that contribute to that. But of course, people who are in shape experience that. So I know that most of them are just sort of excuses to tell myself. So this, guys, if you get someone like this, it's basically like the perfect, I think your laptop's going to die in a second. Basically like the perfect prospect, because they're like answering the questions themselves as well. So like he's already admitting that it's excuses.
He's almost not objecting to them, not objection.
Yeah, he's like objection handling himself in the DMs. So I would go back into the objection handle he's done. Like, yeah, I get that, man. Like you're struggling with the job, the habits, and the stress of your job and stuff. Like, and bro, let's be real, Luca. Like it can be super hard. But good to see that you're realizing that actually it is possible, and that these potentially are just excuses, as you know that other people have got in amazing shape whilst doing what you're doing.
Yeah.
And then when you say your job is stressful, what do you do? So you're trying to qualify him.
Yeah.
I work as a legal counsel at a small financial firm in Zurich. I'm originally Italian. I can't read it, so dark I am. I'm originally Italian, but have been living there for the past 4.5 years. So far, so good, but I definitely have let myself go when it comes to taking care of myself. Okay, are you into fitness full-time? He's basically saying, are you a full-time fitness coach?
Yeah.
I really admire students. Thanks so much. You're now like kind of like letting him get away with his stuff. That's very normal, where especially when you haven't got a clear idea of what to do with fitness career, definitely tends to take over.
I was trying to insinuate that like if he had a clearer plan, like,
but it's not true.
Yeah.
You know that's not true. He needs to put the effort in.
Yeah,
that's literally it. Like it's not normal really for that to happen, and it's not normal for someone to be really out of shape. So like you don't want to overly like, you know, when girls, it sounds brutal, when one girl doesn't look good and the other girl say like, oh my god, you look so amazing, don't you know about it?
Yeah.
That girl's never going to try and look better, because those girls just keep telling her that she looks amazing. Guys do it as well. It's like, oh, like these trousers look good, and they're like, yeah, because they want people to go. It's like, hurry up, like, yeah. And then the person goes out looking shit. Unless someone says something, it doesn't actually get better. Anyway, this is going to glitch, but we'll go to the booking. So what have you really got from him at this point?
He mentioned that he like used to do a lot of rowing. He was in shape and fit when he was younger. And when he hit 25, he started he had his job and he started eating badly and he started putting on weight really quickly. He's now 32. He's got really bad habits of his eating and his fitness and stuff. He wants to get back into and get into the shape that he used to be when he was a kid, so he can feel better, do better in his job, and be more careful.
That's a lot. Yeah, actually got a lot of stuff. What I do, man, is how, guys, so you're pitching, you're already trying to pitch, like, without the calorie tracking. Don't do that without, unless it applies to him. Like, if you're already trying to pitch your coaching, so what you want to do is pitch help. Like, definitely would be fast. So life easier, less stressful, feeling confident. And it's like, okay, like, what we could do, if you feel like this would be useful, is I could kind of like give you a bit of a game plan, or like message you DM you a few tips on here. And like, I think you can just, basically I can just give you some advice over on here. Like, do you feel like that would be helpful? And they're like, yeah. And they're like, it's like, and then they say, you're like, yeah, like that would be really useful. It's like, okay, like what we can do, probably the best way to go about this is actually if we just set up a quick call this week and just like spend 15 minutes going where you're at, so we can kind of build out like what is you need to do. And I could just like give you some tips. I base a bit more on your situation. Let me know. Sound cool? ? They say that's cool. And it's like, okay, man, I mean, I can do time A or time B.
Yeah.
Which one works for you? ?
In either at this stage, because I'm not booking in that many calls on that. I've got a whole calendar. You still only pitch 2 times to make it look like you.
Yeah. Pitch 2 times. Then if they say they can't do those times, just go to other time.
Yeah.
Just ask them if they say they can't do them. Okay, what times work for you? And then I'll figure out what thing. And if they give you some shit like this, like I'm away on a holiday, it's like, yeah, let's get back to your moment. It'd be like, I'm away on a holiday. It's like, you could even just send a voice note, like, I can start supporting you too. In the meantime, maybe see you have a membership section. So it's probably a little bit weird, but then also like probably is actually really wanting to get involved. He's just nervous. Yeah. So I would just put like, I'm on holiday mode. Like, oh, no problem if you're on holiday, man. It's only going to take 15 minutes. Happy to do it as a quick WhatsApp call if that works for you.
Yeah.
And then he'll just say like, as like a lot of the guys I speak to are traveling a lot, and they're like, I often just have chats to guys on holiday. But what that means is that we don't end up delaying this any longer, as I can see it's really important to you because of X, Y, Z.
Yeah.
And because you want to achieve a Z goal.
Yeah.
And then try to book him in whilst on holiday. And then you can just do it as a normal call if that's all you can get.
Yeah.
And then you can book him on a second call after that. If they're giving you bullshit things like this.
So you'd never like go into the delay. You wouldn't let him delay.
No, I wouldn't let him delay. I'd just try and either get his WhatsApp or something to contact him, or organise a call, even if it's a quick one, to then book him in for another one. I'd say the biggest thing here is like, you're not trying to pitch your coaching on this.
No.
You're trying to pitch the call, which is to help them, and then get their details, pitch the details and stuff like that. And then once you're on the call with them, you can then close them. So this is like a tripwire. You basically offer them something on the call, like a roadmap or something to help them out. And then you tripwire it. So on the call, you actually end up selling it.
Yeah, okay.
Instead of giving the roadmap. So you don't have to even go on the call.
Do you ever pitch like a call to talk about whether it'd be a good fit to work with each other?
I sometimes do if they're really hot, but very rarely. I don't really
Just pitch out like a
pitch out.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, because we just book mass calls. So like 3-4 calls per day, boom, boom. Like
You just like that you have just on a call to build out a roadmap.
Yeah, I don't even talk about it very much. I don't even mention it once.
Oh, okay. They know that also if you have the authority, they'll go wherever you tend to call.
Yeah, I just say, basically hop on the call like, yo, Jag, like, it's great to have you on. Like, I noticed that the guys that perform the best that I do work with, and like, just in general, this is a bad way of saying it, but I would do something like this. Like, the ones I see get the best results, they understand the motivation behind them wanting to get in shape. So, like, in your opinion, Jack, what do you feel like is the motivator right now for you to get in the best shape of your life? Make sure you pin it against something positive, the best shape of your life. And you just enter a normal sales call with that point. You might just say like, oh, hey, Jack, where you calling from? Boom, they say where they're from. Okay, cool, man. And like, did you manage to watch that YouTube I sent you? Yeah, like I watched that YouTube. What did you find valuable about it? Oh, I found like the thing you really value. Okay, awesome, man. And like, good to see you taking the action. And I want to make sure today that we just give you as much value as I possibly can. And like, for me to do that, I need to understand a bit more about your situation. But like, what I see, Jack, in general, just like I've just noticed this recently, is the guys that seem to get the best results seem to understand what motivates them the most. So like, in your opinion, like, what would you say your biggest motivator is in terms of getting in the best shape of your life?
And then boom,
you're in the fucking sales call and you just then take that step down. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot more to that, but we'll go over that more when we do the premium buy ecosystem. Okay, cool. Sick. Cool. Let's go. There's some steak.
Yep.
It's day 3 now in Budapest, so we're going to carry on with the premium buy ecosystem. but he's actually implemented a few of these quick cash activities. Like if we just go on his profile now, the other day he did a post about basically his whole story. That was yesterday. Here got 1.6k likes, and basically it just shows his before and after, and then goes into his journey. And like, look, loads of people commenting, like it gets people engaged, it gets people thinking like, oh man, this guy's actually down to earth, this guy's genuine. And so he's done that as well. And then another thing, you recorded a YouTube My Story. Yeah, so he's recorded YouTube My Story based off the hero's journey. You've not posted that to YouTube yet. No, that's cool. So yeah, and he's already started doing a few of those things to get the My Story out there. But the main thing is like he wanted to get a few more things set up, which is why we're going to go into premium buyer ecosystem before he does the quick cash activities. It depends who you are. Like if you're someone that just wants to go into something and just earn money really quickly and just get a bit of income before you start setting things up, then you can do that. That's absolutely fine. If you're someone that wants more stuff set up before they start earning income, so it can be more sustainable, and also you don't just want to earn income and then make it sustainable, you want to make it sustainable, then earn like sustainable income, then you can set more stuff up. One thing I wouldn't suggest to set up is like all of your, like we'll go into it, all your refinement systems. We're only going to go into them really briefly today, because there, once you're doing at least 5k, when you're doing at least 5k, you can run the refinement systems so that you can save yourself time to get to the 10, 15, 20. But in the early stages, you just need the high converting offer, premium buyer ecosystem. So we're going to go into all three. We're going to start with the premium buyer ecosystem there. So this is kind of the summary of the premium buyer ecosystem. Obviously, there's a few things. There's a lot of stuff that I would do differently for other people that would do for you. I would just put it in the tab with the other notes now.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have it? Yeah. But the main things we need to go over is like the YouTube VSL, and then the mini VSL, the CPS, the content pyramid system. Your content's good though. Like you get a lot of engagement, you get a lot of views. It's just more about actually making sure that we can convert those. Profile maximization. We've already gone through a lot of stuff about your profile. I know before you had something like just DM me coach or whatever. I can't remember exactly what it was, but we had that pulled up. And then basically how to set your profile up, like your pin posts, your highlights, your bio redirect, and your profile photo, your story stacks and reverse ads, and then your YouTube nuts assets, and actually how to set your YouTube up as well. So we'll start with actually profile maximization. I'm gonna get rid of all this shit down here. Get rid of this. So we'll start with your actual Instagram profile. So what you want is to start with, like, we've already redone this bio a little bit, and what we've done is helping us working 9 to 5 lose 3 to 7 kg of fat in 90 days without tracking a single calorie, learn exactly how to do it. The only issue we've got right now is like we can't see the full thing. It looks messy because it's like falling over. And then also the without tracking single calorie is like you got to click learn more before you can get to like learn exactly how to do it below. And what the learn exactly how to do it below, this right now, if we click it, this is just like a load of random stuff, isn't it? Like ESN, subscribe for more content, check my TikTok, my broadcast channel. How's your broadcast channel do?
I don't use it as much as I should, but it's got about 517 members.
Yeah, that's cool.
I literally just...
You just post the occasional...
Yeah, I'm not very consistent with it. It's just a bit of a different...
Okay. Well, we can use the broadcast channel, actually. Bertie's broadcast. That can be used to increase the
We
nurture.
should change the name of that as well. It's so boring.
Yeah, that's really important. We can use that broadcast channel a lot to increase the nurture. The only reason why I don't have a broadcast channel is Instagram only. Otherwise, I'd use one.
Okay.
I'd actually print, if I had a broadcast channel, I'd be able to make so much money. Because I'd get loads of people in the broadcast channel and I'd just be nurturing all these different people whilst actually DMing them. So yeah, we'll definitely use the broadcast channel. The main thing is like you have to keep posting using that ESN shit. Once we make enough money, then you can like put that as a highlight or some shit.
Yeah.
The next thing is like make sure that on Instagram, when I looked, it wasn't going over. But we want to make sure that this doesn't go over, so that this isn't on a separate line, so that it's just like boom, boom, boom. Every single sentence needs to be on its own line. That's super important. See, that's what I thought. It looked completely fine there. I don't know, but this is a screenshot I took from this morning.
From your phone?
Yeah, from my phone.
Yeah.
So you just need to check that. It might be worth shortening it out a little bit. Like, I help guys working 9 to 5 to do 7 kg of fat in 90 days. Might shorten it just a tiny bit by like 1 or 2 letters. And then, yeah, so you can go from there. And then what you could do is you can have a really good nurture sequence. So you can go from IG and you can have a split straight to YouTube. But like right now, I don't think as many people are going to go to your link because your CTA isn't as strong as it could.
Yeah.
Because people have to click learn more to actually get to your CTA. But when your CTA is like obvious and people can see that straight away, more people go. And then also you could do IG to broadcast and then send them to your YouTube from there as well after you've nurtured them in your broadcast. And you could even send them to more short form as well, but like you could send them to more of your nurtured short form.
Yeah.
So more of your short form that's actually gonna like target your ICP, that's actually gonna help them, and also give them exclusive stuff in there. What most people do is they have a broadcast and then they just repost their stuff. And people, if they're following you and they're in your broadcast, they're gonna be the people that will watch your content anyway, because they're in your broadcast. Yeah. So just reposting your stuff, you can do that with your really good ones, but I wouldn't do that regularly. Once you've done let's say you've done your bio from here. Okay, so you've done your bio, your profile photo is okay. Like I think it looks aesthetically good.
My thing with the profile photo is that like I don't know if it's smiling out, I'm not looking at the camera and blowing bar, but I've changed it before, and I just think like that when you see a story as well, people recognize it as me because they've associated that, but it's the one I've always had for like since I had thumbnail followers.
Yeah.
So that's my only thing with changing that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so that's a really good point, and I see that a lot. Like going in and just changing your profile photo, especially if you've built up like a good community of like people. You can change it, and people will get used to it. Yeah. But you're not going to die with this then. If people are opening up your stories and your story rates are high, and it's okay. Then one thing is like it's not very nurture.
Yeah.
Like people aren't gonna. It doesn't make people feel closer to you.
Yeah.
But that's the only thing.
There's no problem with it.
So I would say it's completely fine. If people are watching your stories loads, then focus on getting people to follow you through your stories. So focus on getting people to, like, if people are watching your stories loads, that's way more important than having a better profile photo. Yeah. Because that's going to be like, you look at the profile photo for 5 seconds, you watch someone's whole stories, that's really getting a lot. So if actually changing your profile photo decreases the amount of people that watch your stories, then I would definitely not change it. So that's fine. If you've had that since the beginning, you can keep the same profile photo. For your highlights, what I'd have is a few things. So I'd have a Q&A highlight to do Q&A. I like all the travel highlights, they're good. But I would make sure that they're always at the end. So like you have your core highlights, which is like your testimonials, or like, but I would like position that slightly differently. So instead of testimonials, you could do like wins or like client wins. Yeah, you have your my story. Yeah. I would just do your testimonials, your my story, and then have a Q&A. Okay. And that's going to be really good. And then for the Q&A, you're obviously just posting like,
I've got loads of would that just be like fitness related or anything related?
Yeah, Q&A that actually gives value. Yeah. So if someone's going through and they're like, okay, like this is a really good value. So you could do, I would do testimonials, my story, Q&A. And then, you could have your supplements, ESN one, because we're working with ESN at the moment. And then other than that, I would just have all of your stories stacking up. So I'd have like, try and have your testimonials at the start here, then have your my story here, and then your Q&A here. Obviously that's not going to always work like that. And then all of your other ones just like go back like this. So you can have as many as you want of other ones, like all of the places you've traveled, Budapest, Romania. Yeah, basically have all of them, sharing the lifestyle as much as possible, and then just having your key ones here. Like these are really the key ones: testimonial, story, and Q&A. If you wanted, you could also have a training one. So you could also have a fourth one, but basically it'd be like a PT one. So you could give it the initials of the company. So like Founders Physique, FP, and then have it like that. But what you want to do here is just run people a bit through your like offer a little bit. You don't want to make it too obvious. This can blend in sometimes with the others and then just bring it back up every now and then by adding in posts. But the main three are the testimonial, the my story, and then the Q&A. They're going to be super important.
And what would you recommend for cover photos? Because a lot of people do it with like, they'll makeshift like a logo.
I hate them. I think they're
just like this kind of style. But
yeah, this is so much more natural and organic. So I did the cover photos bit for a while and actually reduced the amount of people that were looking at my highlights. So then highlights, and then pin posts is I would do a 3-story pin post. So what that looks like is, and you can also, if you have like loads of testimonials, you could do it on testimonials. Like for example, let's go Booty by Jax. I'm sure he's got one. He just literally has testimonials of us. that is a crazy transformation. But he just has literally like loads of testimonials.
Yeah.
Okay. And that's literally what he has. And then he has a little bit more about like what people have actually said instead of just before and afters. But mainly he just has like before and afters. But what you can have, if you don't have all of that, that's just because it's got an insane amount. So this is actually a client cancellations, that's hitters. So like, it seems like just a round of reels.
This is actually my client. Yes, of course, I didn't grow. All of myself and my team just helped get her to the next level and help her waist stay small while she was growing at her waist.
So like the hidden testimonial. So like basically the red up alleyways, but you're at the beginning and this will be another hidden testimonial. And then also what you could do is you can actually just have your most viral reels as well pinned at the top. As long as they're not just like really basic viral reels that kind of mean nothing. But yeah, to start with, I'll do 3 stories. So one, have some sort of like story in your pinned post of like basically my story. And you want to do this in the best way possible. And you can like have this a bit more hidden. So it doesn't have to be like my story, but like have something like that nurtures people. I'll do this as a carousel as well. So like actually have it as this one here, as a carousel. And then the other one you can do is a reel of your or your story. I would do this as like a transformation reel. Okay. And you can pin that as a transformation. And then another one is like you want like my story, but more like why I coach. So a little bit like this, for example. They're like, allow me to introduce myself, but really it's just me talking about why I coach. You can do it much better than this. This actually looks really tacky.
I think it was a good bit. Okay. I like that one.
For me, it's like a bit unnatural though.
Okay.
For your style.
Right. Okay.
Like this for me, like worked well. A lot of people view this. And you don't need to. I only got 267 likes. No. And yeah, a lot of people viewed this, and it's like done really well to nurture people, but you could also have a better one. Like you could definitely do this in your style more and like make it a bit more like, I don't know, clean and aesthetic, I guess. But like basically do a why coach, but you again do that as like introducing yourself and then go into coaching, but also make sure that what you're doing here is based on your ICP. You're kind of handling objections. Yeah, you're basically handling their objections whilst also showing loads of social proof and actually going over about like your offer and like kind of the benefits. So you're trying to like show them what happened to you that was in their situation. You're not trying to like overly say that, but like what was it in their situation? I saw a man that found skinny loss and was wasting his potential. See, you could do this for your audience even more. Like you could target them even more. Like I was a guy like working, problem is you have a job at uni, you got to go into a time when you had a job. So this one you're trying to like kind of merge your story a bit more to fit where you want to go.
No, yeah, 100%. I had a job, I was working a job in my gap year when I was pretty skinny at the start of that, and I was trying to get big to work traveling.
Yeah.
It's like a big one for me.
So what you'd want to be saying is more like you're basically working loads, and even though you wanted to put time into your fitness, you just really struggle with X, Y, Z. Point out that things. Don't necessarily, you could mention being skinny and stuff, but you're going to do that in your My Story. This is more about like getting over the objections of the ICP and showing that if they do the right things, it is possible for them to get in really good shape. But like positioning you as the new unique differentiator. So like you could even have some of your mechanisms in there, which we could go into. But then also a ton of social proof, a ton of lifestyle. You want this to feel really positive. And then you can have a CTA in the caption, or you don't have to. You probably don't even have to. I'm actually someone that's like not really huge for CTAs all the time. Like if I go on someone like even Ben right now, I'm going to shout you out, Ben, if you're watching this video, but like I see him doing CTAs all the time. So he posts this video. Hey, Mr. Bob. Then he posts this, ask yourself what successful person is in all for shape. Most guys who run successful businesses have top 10% physique. So he's telling them, so he's saying, okay, this is what top 10% guys have. Feeling lost, commit yourself to the gym for 6 months and guarantee everything will change. And then he's basically asking for a CTA, DM me loss, let's get the results you deserve. Like hardly anyone's going to DM him loss on that. So a nurture's not enough. It's not showing any social proof. He's told people to do it. So he said, this is what has to happen to do it. Unless someone really respects him to a super high level, they're not going to necessarily take that on board. And they just, yeah. So what you'd want to do is like this whole story sequence that you're basically doing here with the pinned carousel, you kind of want to do that with your stories. You want to before you do a CTA on your stories, You got to show social proof. You got to show your story, your perspective, and you reflecting on things. And you got to show basically stuff that you overcame to do that. You're basically introducing your mechanisms in your training. And then after you've done that, you can then pitch your CTA. If you pitch CTAs super cold like that, it doesn't work, which is why I'm not always a fan of having CTAs in post, because I just think like it's too cold just on one post. Like, you actually want to nurture them to your stories before you do something like that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you do a my story, pinned reel. No, my story,
Carousel, reel, transformation reel,
and then like an actual, like basically wire coach thing, targeting your ICP.
Yeah.
But don't call it wire coach.
No.
Okay, cool. And when you have testimonials, you can put testimonials in there. And a good way to do testimonials is like in a secretive way as well, when you start to get some. So in the early days as well, make sure that whatever you get, you just use as testimonials. So if someone sends you a photo or a message, literally a photo of them in the gym, or a message saying like, oh, that was really good workout, thank you, Bertie, you screenshot that and use that within your client wins thing.
Yeah.
Once you've got to a bigger stage, you can recreate your highlights and re-optimize your profile, because stuff will need to change at that point. I just want to show you what this is like a secret testimony.
Little bit of a story time. One of the guys that I train, Rory, he came to me saying, I think I want to get in shape. I think I want to start working out, like it's something that could suit me. Now he's absolutely dialed, in crazy shape, and wanting to work out more and more and more. Before you take action, you never really know where it's going to lead you. Like before I actually started trying to run a business or getting good
Yeah, so the editing could be better, but that actually helped a lot. Even though it didn't get many views, a lot of people watched that and kind of like mentioned it to me when I was speaking to them in the DMs. Okay, so then you've done that. You've done all your pin posts. You got the stories on there, and eventually you got the testimonials on there, the highlights, the bio redirect. What I would also do is within your highlights, have obviously your bio is going to be to nurture people through your YouTube as well, bring people to your YouTube, because then if you reach out to them on your IG or you do a CTA and they reach out to you, if they've watched the YouTube, they're way more likely to reach out to you. And two, so this is going to be YouTube. And two, if you reach out to them, they're going to be way more likely to reply, and you're going to be way more likely to recommend.
Get rid of that as a link, and even though I could put the YouTube in there, just have it as a link to a YouTube.
Yeah, so I would do a deep link as well. Okay. So like this, you can use URL Genius. Yeah. And what this does is you can see 50 links. I've already had 50 people click my YouTube videos in, so I just added this in. The reason why I just started using this recently is it stops people from having to go into Safari to then log into YouTube to then watch your video. So it means that they don't have to do any stuff like, when you have to click capture. Yeah, they have to go through that. They don't have to log in. They can straight away watch your YouTube video and subscribe to you. So it skips everything. Cool. So it's really worth doing it with a deep link as well. If you're not doing a deep, then you're just going to waste potential subscribers and watchers. I think it's over a 200% increase in people that watch it. So then you have the YouTube there. And what I would do is in your highlights is I would direct some of these. So like the My Story, you can have a My Story YouTube video. So you can direct at the end of this highlight to YouTube. Throughout the Q&A, you can direct it to YouTubes that you create. So like you might just have the YouTube dotted randomly throughout the Q&A. Yeah. So someone will ask you a question on fasting, and that might be in the highlight and 7 slides in.
Yeah.
But then on that page, you actually have a video on fasting. So then you drop the YouTube link as well. So you consistently just remind them. And if you have a testimonial, one thing that works really well now is like these before and afters don't work as well anymore. They still work, but people see them all the time. Like if I just search in online coach, but it'll be like half naked people on the screen. I can't see that proves that perfectly. I literally just searched in the first random person. Like even though they do look cool, damn, these are crazy transformations, and they are really aim to have that. It's just like everyone has loads of them now. So what you're better off backing them up with is all the testimonials. You also do YouTube. So like if you go onto my YouTube, this is your one. Just duplicate this.
So much can change.
So if we go to here and you go to videos, they don't get tons of views, but I have a load of actual basically fitness coach. That all of these are just fitness coaching, long form testimonials. So like you can even do them.
That is like the main thing for me at the beginning. I just need
like with JJ, or you can do them in person with Jack. And then basically what this does is like they have the transformation, and then you just back it up with even more credibility of actually showing a long form video of that transformation. So then that could also be redirects. So you could have like a testimonial, like highlight.
Yeah.
And then someone says like, oh, you have a photo of them. And then underneath it is a WhatsApp message saying like them saying, this is the best shape I've ever been in, Bertie. And then you have a YouTube link, maybe on that post or the one after, saying like, go watch the conversation we had and whatever about this and that. There's a few bits to YouTube, the VSL, the way you set the YouTube up, the My Story again, and then also the YouTube like VSL, yeah, it's the main one, but also the YouTube nurture. So it's gonna feel like you're repeating yourself a lot in different ways. Yeah, like because you're gonna be doing My Story again on YouTube. You've already filmed that. And then in the VSL, it's like you're talking about your story, but in a different way as well. But you're also putting in a lot of different stuff in the VSL. And then with the nurture assets, most of the time you're going to be talking about your story. It's like you want to get in the frame of mind that your life is just like a walking experience of learnings. And every small thing you do, you get some sort of learning that you can reflect on. And then all you're trying to do is consistently think about, how can I talk about some sort of reflection I've had from this? So you might spill some coffee and you just post an Instagram story like, I just spilled this coffee all over my trousers. And like, I was really fucking pissed off. And then I just thought like, there's more pissed off I get about this, the worse it actually makes it. And it's like, I see in myself a lot of the time that if I actually just move on, stop making it worse, I end up getting better results. And I think this applies to a lot of people. It's like missing 2 days at the gym and then just deciding to skip the third and fourth day. So you do a reflection of it, but you don't say, like most people, the way they do it, they like spill the coffee, they start with the reflection, but they too quickly go into someone else. So they go like, I just spilled coffee, guys. It made me think like when I was angry about it, like it just makes it worse. And this is why you guys, when you're at the gym, and it's too much, yeah, it needs to like go smoothly. And kind of that's what you're doing with the YouTube as well. So YouTube, in terms of the way you want to do it, the whole purpose for it is literally just to pull people over the line a bit more. So yeah, with your YouTube right now, you just have the shorts. So like, even if you redirect someone to your YouTube, like you're redirecting people right now on your Instagram to your link tree, but your link tree just redirects people to your YouTube and Instagram and TikTok sort, which just means you then just redirect people to watch the exact same content as they watched on the Instagram, which they're not really going to massively do. But actually, if you redirect them to get something different, like these long form pieces of content, they're much better. Okay. And the way you want to structure it is you want to have your My Story as your trailer and then your VSL as your spotlight, which means that all new people that haven't seen your account before or they haven't really subscribed to you, that'll instantly be shown your My Story when you first go on the video. Like, so if you go onto mine, what happens is instantly you get shown the My Story. But then if you're returning, it's doing this because it's just, I don't know why, it's just so much in that sense of place. But if you're returning and you're a subscribed person, then it will show you the VSL, if that makes sense.
Cool. So if you're someone who then has already seen the My Story, most likely.
Yeah. So then the VSL is there to like try and nurture them even more to close them. Well, VSL does a few key things. It does, one, it gives a ton of social proof. If you don't have much social proof, you can kind of like think about, okay, in what ways can I get social proof? Like, how about a few mates? Think about more about your transformation, about showing your transformation in that way. What are the few things that you went over? Like, have you had compliments from girls? Do you know what I mean? You can actually use anything as a VSL. Does clothes fit better? Like, not anything is a VSL. Anything is testimonials. Like, anything is like social proof, basically.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is you're trying to like show what their pains are. So what are their issues? And then you're trying to show that you have the solution to those issues. So you want to pick like 3 core issues and show you have those solutions. And what is also within that you also build are unique mechanisms. So your unique way of doing something. For example, no one else really does the premium biogas system, I don't think, so other than me. And this unique setup, this way that I do is my unique way of doing it. So you can start building out your unique mechanisms of how you actually do it. So like, how is it that you train? Like, what would it be called? Like the Bertie workout flow. I don't know. That's a rubbish name. But like, you know what I mean? You start putting in unique mechanisms. I do 2 to 3 in there of how you train. For example, mine was called the adaptive nutrition system. I think you could do a lot better than that as well, actually. But that one worked pretty well with the entrepreneurs.
And then again, the adaptive nutrition system.
Yeah. And then you just basically go through those unique mechanisms on the thing. Another thing is their key objections. This is like an overview of a VSL because a VSL is very detailed. But their key objections, you're trying to basically objection. Okay. So bring up their objections. Yeah. And you're not going to go say like, they're not right. It's like, you can speak about it in your story. Like, this is what Jack struggled with. This is what I struggled with. They're like, you're basically bringing up their objections through testimonials or your own story, depending on what situation you're in. Yeah. And then another thing is you're calling out the audience. So you're saying you want to do this and you want to think about the best way to structure this. So you're probably best at having the call out earlier on. So you might be saying something like, who is this not for? This isn't for women that just want to lose a little bit of weight, or like young guys that just think, oh, maybe I'll start in the gym. And then you basically exclude those people, because by excluding people, the people you include, they feel even more targeted and that is even more fit for them. And then what the aim is to then do is to then sell them basically on the fact that your system, your way of doing things is the best way of doing things. So that if they want to generally get in amazing shape, working with you is the best way to do that. And you could do this in so many different ways, which is why I've not given you like a script. Like, I've seen people just do it where they have an intro where they talk about their story very briefly. They give a really good hook to the YouTube video. They like basically outcast a load of people. This is not for this is not for that. They give urgency, like, so that it shows that it almost as if something like, if you don't apply this and everyone else does, you're going to be behind. Or if it's more fitness terms, like the urgency of doing this in terms of actually like finally taking action because they've clicked on this video and they need to actually start moving forward. And then all they do after that is do like a group fitness call that they've had on Zoom, and they just literally play the group fitness call on Zoom because it gives loads of actionable value that they're giving in the thing. It sells their product even more, gives a little bit of an insight into what it looks like inside. And then at the end they finish with like a CTA, like if you want basically help with this, then you can message me on Instagram. But what you shouldn't be doing with the VSL is just selling your program. Yeah. This is the training software that I use. Like, none of that shit. And then in terms of nudge assets, like, we'll keep this really simple for now. All you want to be doing with that is stuff like unique things for you. So day in the life. You can do day in the life. You can also do how videos, like particularly how to put on more muscle with this. Yeah. You can do like checklist based videos. These are the 5 things that you need to be doing every day as a man, whatever. You can do the testimonial / proof videos like we showed before. You could do more my stories. You can do like what your day looks like, not just day in the life, but like what your day looks like to be in the shape you're in. And you can even blend stuff. So you can do like the how-to videos blended with the day in the life. So it's more casual and it fits in more relaxed. So that could be, for example, intermittent fasting day in the life. Do you know what I mean? That's a how-to mixed in with day in the life. And then another thing is like, if you look at my content overview, the way that I have it is like, I really at the moment like this whole authentic talking head style videos. So you have this authentic talking head style videos with these vlog style videos like this. And then you have mainly authentic talking head, which does really well. You have a few breakdown videos, you have vlog, and then you have transformation. So you might have like 2 to 3 transformation, because obviously they're really important, because if you don't have any transformation, people can't see your story. But that's like my story, basically. Well, yeah. You then have some vlog of day in the life for you to start with, because you're in the earlier stages. You're actually better off having your day in the life stuff like more related to a certain topic. So you might have day in the life, like for example, even this raw talking head here is over a certain topic that's trying to help people. Because I was too stubborn and arrogant as a kid. He's talking about the fact that being stubborn and arrogant as a kid made him money. It's based around a certain topic. So you could have, for example, as your vlog and your authentic talking head, you could mix these 3 all together. Your authentic talking head could also be your how-to and your vlog. So you could do a really authentic way of being like, this is like your basically day in the life of, and you could do it about shredding. For example, some sort of video about shredding, intermittent fasting, how to do intermittent fasting, what to eat to get shredded. And then you just do that as a day in the life. And you do it in an authentic way. So it's not really scripted. You're kind of showing them what to do, but you're also showing them your life, which just builds and like trust and relatability to them. Yeah. Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. So yeah, that's the main things. Like in terms of the mini VSL, what that is like you have the whole VSL, and when you get really good at the VSLs, you can kind of put a mini VSL and pop it into your Instagram. So like you can then have that as a pinned post. So what that does is like handles objections, like small amount of objections in a very relaxed way. The best way to do this is get a cart transformation and then go over that transformation as a mini VSL. So like when I first spoke to Moses, he said like there was no way I'm joining this program, but like it's not worth the invest. Like this is a really bad way of saying it. I don't have time or the money to do it. And like 2 weeks later, Moses joined and he just messaged me the other day saying that he's actually saving time. He feels like he's 20 years younger, X, Y, Z. And you kind of just like turn this transformation into a mini VSL. And like, this isn't, like this wouldn't be for X, Y, Z, but Moses was in this situation, X, Y, Z, and was struggling with X, Y, Z. But then you turn that testimonial into a mini VSL and you can have that in your pinned reels, and then you can direct people like you want to learn more, because they can then either in the bio or in the highlights, or you can even say in the caption of this, like want to learn more, click the link in my bio. That then directs people to your full VSL. Yeah. You don't need, okay. And then the other two things, the content pyramid system, the main thing is like your content's really good. Like you have really good engagement. I think that the actual content looks pretty cool as well.
Everyone's always looking for that one big secret hat that they think's going to get them to where they want to be in life. But the real truth is the actual power lies in doing the simplest things every day that are going to really improve your life. Take walking.
See, I like that. It's like really raw and authentic. Yeah. See, that's not bad. I mean, it's pretty basic stuff, but like it's still getting good views.
And just put your bags on. But a fascist set with slave. Goodbye, everything.
This gets people involved in your life a lot more. This is going to target younger people. So like it's definitely worth targeting like guys that are in 9 to 5s but are younger. That's most likely what you're going to end up getting. Yeah. And you did that whole 9 to 5 after my 5 to 9 those. That's it. So you could just repost them. But it's still, so like you got some motivating stuff. So I'd say in terms of like content, you're kind of doing, if I go to it, you're kind of, at least you've definitely done C1, is like how many views, likes and followers can I get? You probably got quite a lot of C1, like in terms of some of your older posts, I'd say were more C1 than your newer ones. I'd say your new posts are more like C2. Really, it's like how many likes, followers can I get in my target audience? Like more actual people that are genuine like people, because before you were posting a little bit more like thirst trappy, just random stuff, and now I'd say it's like more like actionable stuff. For you, it's about creating a bit more of that nurture content. So like you're gonna have the YouTube and stuff, which is gonna then nurture people more. But with the nurture content, it's really important that you focus on the hooks and stuff like that, because like with these sort of content, you can just put, we're in the land there, stop. So you don't do much running. You don't do much talking content.
No.
Which like means that when you do the nurture content, you need really good hooks.
Yeah.
To make sure, like I wouldn't overly script them, but I would think about the concept of the video a lot. So I would think about concept over script. Yeah, so think of the concept over the script. And then the way you can do this is, like I mentioned, similar to the YouTube, you can have educational, testimonial, stories. I would have like some sort of recurring pillar type. So based on some of the things that you're going to offer, for example, you could do authentic, like I have up here in the Figma, like authentic talking heads. So you could do some more authentic talking heads of like lessons that you've learned. You could do stuff that makes people kind of want to be in your life. Like for example, this one is like you made 32k and spent your day unemployed. And it's like chill. It's like creates a bit of FOMO because like people are watching this guy. Or you can create some more like transformation edits, like the Shelby Sat transformation edit. For me, I'm moving towards doing the talking head authentic, but it will lower the engagement in the way. So I would also focus, if you're going to do that, on making sure that you're still making some more of this viral content. Like still focus on going as viral.
Right, guys, I thought I'd quickly show you the drink that I have every day to keep myself hydrated, protein up. And yeah, basically just has most of the supplements, so I put it all in one drink.
So I would do this, but I'd just be really clear with the way you go about it. It's like, don't look scripted, but just be like super like on it with the way you go about it. So like,
right, for anyone who's really struggling to grow their chest, watch this video.
But I would do some more targeting your ICP. Yeah. So workouts and I only have, you don't have to say after work, favorite workout. My favorite workout only takes after a busy day. Obviously, you can rethink about that, but then that could gently target busy professionals. Or you could even do stuff like, do you need to eat chicken and rice every day? Like, no. Or you can either do something like, here's the stretching routine that I do when I'm working a lot. That means I don't even have to get out of my chair to reduce the tightness in my lower back. Like, you're going to find when you start to do stuff like that, you're going to get some older people. You just need to make sure whilst you're doing this, you keep up this like energy that you have, that people like and are bought into, because you don't want to lose that. You don't want to just become like every other fitness coach.
Yeah.
But you want to do all these things by showing your story. The way that you do these things, but don't come like every other fitness coach, is literally by doing it through your narrative. Yeah, and the reason why you want to do it through your narrative is that if you don't, it just ends up being facts, and everyone has access to all the facts. Like, everyone has ChatGPT, I think now, but at minimum, everyone has Google.
That's the thing with like the videos, like, do you need to eat chicken and rice every day? Sometimes I'm like, could do a video on that or could do a video on this, but I just feel like there's already so much out there. It's pointless for me to do it. But the thing, like,
don't think there's so much out there, but do it from your perspective, so it's not. So, like, what's interesting to people is the reason why people want to work with you is because they haven't done it themselves. Everyone can search it up, and which is why, like, when you're on a sales call, we'll go into this, someone saying to you, basically, that they are too busy or whatever to have a look isn't true. If it was a priority for them, they'd search it up, which is why you don't take any of those sort of excuses on the sales call. Look, it's not about knowledge. If someone gives me a knowledge thing on the sales call, I'm digging deeper into that, because that doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, well, I know you say something like I can do, like, it's easy to find that stuff. That's like,
yeah, it's like, okay, so
I mean, I can say, I can send you that right now. I can send you a YouTube describing exactly what you do.
Yeah, but then they feel like they've solved it. It's like more like, okay, what have you done so far to get that knowledge that you need?
Okay.
And they say, like, I haven't done much. And like, okay, what stopped you from prioritizing actually getting the knowledge you know is going to move you forward? And actually, it comes down to action most of the time.
Yeah.
But you can still do it. So, like, do you need to eat chicken and rice? Oh, fuck no, I hear this talk every day, and I went from this to this, and I haven't even eaten. I don't know when the last time it was I ate chicken and rice. I mean, you just base it on your story, and then you base it on your perspective on stuff, because then that isn't searchable. Your journey, the way that you did it, and the struggle you went through, isn't just searchable and reusable, like hard stone facts. Like, I see coaches trying to compete on facts all the time, and it makes no sense. They're like trying to compete on who knows the most about protein in grams, and it's just like, I'm not even like that qualified as a T, and I earn a lot more money than them, because I actually help people get transformations because I know people, and really coaching is just about people. So you're just trying to help people make a change in their belief. Get really. So there's, like, going on to conversion map, there's a few key things on here, but we're just going to go over the main one. So there's the sales structure, the belief-based closing, the DM sets and flow, Google Calendar and Zoom, and Fathom link up. You've done the Google Calendar and Zoom and Fathom link. Right. So just to check, like, do you make sure that you get someone to, like, accept a Google Calendar?
Yeah, and that it's all a bit messy at the moment, to be honest, because I had it set up with, like, Calendly. My Google Calendar, I had my Google Calendar then linked to, like, all my calendars on my phone, so everything's all synced up, and then it was doing it through Zoom, and then I stopped using Zoom because, you know, I could only have 30-minute calls, so I went to Google Meets, and then recently I've just been, like, sending them a link before the meeting, but they haven't accepted anything.
Okay, that's well.
I have set it up. It's just a little bit messy.
That's fine. I send them a link before the meeting on Instagram anyway.
Yeah.
That's kind of part of the follow-up you should do. But based on the Google Calendar thing, is what you should do is basically get them to accept a Google Calendar so that it's actually in their email. So, like, if someone accepts a Google Calendar, like if I go on here, I've accepted this Google Calendar with Tom. So that's actually in both of our emails. It's like locked into our calendar.
Yeah.
And if I go onto my email, I can join the meeting in my email, and I can see it in my calendar at, like, any point I want to. So I would definitely do that. And then in terms of Fathom, you've set that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Fathom, you're listening and you don't know what it is. It basically just, it's like Zoom charges me, I think, £200 a month for, I don't really know what for. I think it's just for the recording at this point. But it just keeps stacking up, where Fathom does it all for free, and it does it 10 times better. It's easier to use. It's easier to find the recordings. It gives you a full recap on the whole meeting, so you can look at the summary. It's easier to send to people. I think Fathom is probably one of the best tools in the game. If you're not using it, you should definitely use it. And then with the Zoom, you can switch that to Google Meets if you want. And the easy thing is if you're using Google Meets, you can easily integrate that into Google Calendar, so that when you send the Google Calendar, someone can just join. Like, this has a Zoom, but, like, you can just join this Google meeting here at this training call that I have. So it makes it super easy, and you can have it so your Fathom automatically joins. So yeah, that's set up. That's really important to set up because you're going to need to review your sales calls and stuff. So you have to have your fathom. The next thing is the sales structure. And then we'll go the sales structure and obviously belief-based closing kind of tie in together. We went into a little bit of settings. We could go into a bit more about that. The sales structure that I would have is discovery, program, recap, pitch. This isn't necessarily what I do now, but this is what I would definitely start with. It's what I closed tens and tens of thousands on in the early stages, even when I was doing closing for Charlie Johnson, and it works really well. So you spend, let's say you have an hour on the call, and that's how I'd aim for, like, that's what I'd aim for. You spend too long on a call, people you got to think about is like a curve. Like, let's say someone's like here most of the time, the curve goes up, so they get really interested. The spike dips, it goes up. You can close them here or here, but then it's going to go down again. And it's just probably going to keep going down a little bit. It's like the longer you spend on the call with them after that, the harder it is going to be to close them. I mean, this is something I've really struggled with. So like I've ended up having like 2-hour calls. I've closed them at the end of 2-hour calls on like 5K. Yeah. But it's just like, I can see I could have closed them way earlier if I'd actually just set it up better. And this is also about like, for me, I just speak too much. Yeah. So yeah. But you want to spend about half an hour on the discovery, and that's you going into everything about them. If you're speaking on the discovery, you don't want to be speaking much at all. You want to be just asking questions. And then that will naturally fall into the program. So then once you've done half an hour on discovery, you ask them those questions. You now know their struggles and everything. You kind of pitch your program with it. No, you kind of like go into your program a bit. You're like, this is how we're going to help you, XYZ. And then
this is the first pitch.
With the first piece program. And you do this for 5 to 10 minutes. That's literally it. So the shortest part should be really short. I would even say 5 minutes is more likely what you're going to do. So with this, all you're doing is going over how you help people. So let's say with fitness coaching, like basically the way we're going to do this for you, man, is we have two sides of it. We have the actual training side and we have the accountability side. Yeah. When it comes down to the accountability, what that looks like is one-to-one calls with me every week, group accountability, and a group call once a month, check-ins through training software, and actually the accountability, the internal accountability system, whatever unique mechanism, that helps them actually become more accountable to themselves. Because you also have to make sure you think about your training in a way that allows them, after you finish the training, to keep going. Yeah. And keep going themselves. And then you go like, in terms of training, what that looks is like straight after this call, I get like a one-to-one call booked in. We actually go over we get you set up and we do this, that. We have our own trading software, XYZ, whatever you do, meal plans, workout plans. You literally do that for 5 minutes. I would say don't do that for any longer than 5 minutes. If you do 10 minutes going over your program, I'd probably fall asleep by the time like I'd finish that, and I wouldn't want to buy from you. And then you recap. And when you recap, you don't go over program. You just go over discovery. You recap pain, goals, current situation. Yeah. You stretch that gap again. You remind them of the gap. You remind them of the valley between where they are now and where they want to go. Like imagine that they're on like the Grand Canyon and like know there's bikes that jump the Grand Canyon. It's like, imagine being on the bike. Would you want the shorter distance or longer bike? So if you're on a bike having to jump the Grand Canyon, would you want the smaller gap? Yeah, you'd want a smaller gap, right? The bigger gap, you've got more fucking help with. Like if you had a bigger gap and someone said like, you can pay 1,000 and give you a fucking plane. Yeah. You'd be like, I'll take the fucking plane any day. So what you're trying to do at that point is just widen that gap so they feel like it needs to be filled. Yeah. And then you like pitch them at the end of that. And that should last about 15 minutes. And what should last with the recap or the pitch. So you then do a recap paying goals, dream outcome. So then after you finish like program, you're at about 35 minutes. Yeah. So it goes discovery, 30 minutes, discovery, 30 minutes. Yeah. And then you go into program, 5 minutes. And then you go into, what is it again? Oh, recap. You can go into that for like 10 minutes, and then you go into the push for the rest of the time. And that even might go over time at times. So then, yeah, so basically you end up with this. It's really simple. I would actually just be writing this at the top of your notes. So I know when you have the notes, I used to write this. I used to write discovery 30, program 5, recap 10, pitch, rest. Actually used to write that because then I just remind myself as I'm going through, like if I was still in a discovery like 15 minutes in, I was like, oh fuck, like 50 minutes in, I might be doing that, and I'd be in the like recap for like 20 minutes and I'd be thinking, fuck, like I'm going way over time. And then because he was booking so many calls in, I would start to miss the next call, and I'd have like some of the sales managers be like, Ned, fucking shut up. Like, what are you doing, bro? It was actually horrible. It's so stressful because I'd do like 6, 7 calls back to back.
Yeah.
And then like if you actually follow this properly, it works really well. What you find is like sometimes in the early days you might not have enough time, so you might get people either no closing, but you can always just get them on another call. But it's a good formula to stick to. If you want to get even more like techie with the closing, then you can do belief-based closing, which is kind of a bit more what we went about. This is actually about digging into people's beliefs, like uncovering where they're at. So with belief-based closing, this comes down to more like using analogies properly, like getting them to take full accountability. Yeah. With belief-based closing, if they come off the call and they close or don't close, they should feel like their mind is completely changed. This works really, really well. Like you'll notice a massive increase in sales. And even if you're following this structure within the discovery and the recap, you can use a lot of the belief-based closing like tactics there. But it basically is like I have it a lot within like the people that actually work with me in transition online, but like it goes a lot into exactly why the person is in the position. For example, like most people, they say they have enough knowledge, they have a training program. But like if I'm calling, and like this is an actual analogy I use, if I'm calling along the desert and I can see a village over there and I'm just like crawling along the desert because I'm dying of thirst and I can't even walk at this point. The symptom is me crawling. The symptom is me dying of thirst, but the actual cause is me not drinking enough water. The cause is me being thirsty and actually not having that water to drink. What you're trying to do with belief-based closing is get down to like the actual course of it. So like if someone says for you, even we're going over that role play the other day, like let's just role play it now a little bit.
Yeah.
Or what's an objection you get?
Who am I being?
You could be the prospect.
Okay. An objection probably most common is like, it sounds great, but it's just not the right time. I'm not ready to start.
Okay, yeah. Well, no.
Well, I'm gonna be the prospect.
Yeah, you're the prospect.
Yeah, and then like it all sounds great, and I really want to be a part of the program, but I need some time to like think about how I can fit this into my life, and I just think it's not the right time for me to do this yet.
Yeah, I get that, man. And like obviously we're only gonna do what's best for you because that's what makes sense, right? And when do you feel like is the right time to start?
I don't know. I just like I'm quite busy at the moment. I've got a lot of stuff going on. So I need to think about, actually how I could fit this into my life. And so it wouldn't be long, but like, I don't think it's right now.
Yeah, okay. When was it that you first thought about getting in shape again? I think you mentioned it was about 2-3 years ago, right?
Yeah. It was a few years ago now.
Okay, yeah. And like in the last 2-3 years, have you thought about starting before?
Yeah, I've been wanting to start a lot over those 2-3 years. We wanted to start for 3 years now, but yeah, I'm very busy, and it's just I struggle to fit it into my life.
Okay. Have you ever tried to fit it in? Yeah, like have you ever like really gone into it and okay, I'm actually going to make this big change, huh?
I have tried before, and I've started going to the gym, but it's just never lasted because I got overwhelmed, and there was too much on my plate.
And when was the last time you properly tried that?
Maybe like 6 months ago.
And like, do you have a friend that's also trying to get into shape?
Yeah, a few of my friends have their own things, but this is like a thing where I just really want to like focus on myself for a bit and do this for myself. But some of my friends, they go to the gym and stuff.
Guys, the camera cut out right in the middle of that role play. So luckily we actually had the loom because we went into so much source that I know you guys are going to find so useful. And I wanted this to just be more natural, organic. I don't want to go over again because we're just applying it directly. It just made so much sense what we're going over, and we kind of covered stuff that we might not have gone over if it was like super scripted and stuff. So like what we're going to do is I'm just going to show you the rest of the loom. I still carve, still making it look really good. And I like actually mainly just showing the best bits because obviously it's not going to actually have me talking in, but you're going to hear exactly everything I say. You're going to see the whole documents I was going over, and you can see the whole CRM systems I was going over. I literally go into my company, go into my CRMs, go into exactly how we use them, how we use them for the team. I even go into where we pull the leads into from the ads. So it's definitely worth watching. And then, and then we're just going to continue the video from there. So then the next thing is like the DM setting flow. We'll actually go over this a little bit really quickly. So what the DM setting flow looks like, basically in the DMs, you're trying to get a few things. You're trying to get their current situation, their goal situation, their time, like how long it's been, their struggles and 3-pitch. So like really with the goal situation, it's like the North Star, like where it is that they want to go. And like what this could look like is for the current situation, you could even send a voice note. Oh, so you're already going to the gym like Jack, or you looking to get into it. So just to see if they're in the gym or not. Like this is a very basic, I can literally run you through the very basic setting flow we used to have.
Yeah.
So the reach out was, hey brother, hope you don't mind me reaching out, just connecting with a few of the guys that follow me, whereabouts you based? And then they just give me, whereabouts they're actually like based basically. And then you just acknowledge that. So then the HUD calendar is a great place. We'll head over there soon, or heading over there soon is better. Don't say would love to go there, because it puts them as higher.
Well, also it makes you look like you'd have the option to go there
Yeah.
if you wanted to.
Yeah. And then you could just put like, how old are you, man?
Yeah.
Question mark. This worked well. It's very basic. You can do better than this, but this is like the simple one where, like, say I had a new setting for me, I'd get them started on this first. So you would then put in a double message, like, for example, this message would be, HUD calendar's a great place. We'll head over there soon. And then it's whereabouts you from. Don't send these big paragraphs if you're going to send messages.
Yeah.
Like split it up into multiple messages as if you're just quick type it. And don't use capitals.
Yeah.
So like here, there's capitals. No, there's no capital at the start. Why no capital at the start? It seems much more casual.
Yeah.
And it seems like you're putting less effort in, even though actually
I
makes
had
it a bit
a lot
longer.
of have access to Google Docs.
Yeah, I can give you access to this. And then the next thing is make sure you're acknowledging consistently as well. So then when you're doing the current situation, like even before you go, you're already in the gym or look to get into it, you want to acknowledge them. So when they give their age, it's like, oh, okay, 33, or like, let's say they say 22, it's like, oh, 22, same age as me, man. You already going to the gym or you're looking to get into it? See? Something like a mix between voice notes and messages. And then you go goal situation. So you want to acknowledge it again. Or they might say, looking to start. Okay, like, good to see you're looking to start, man. Like, what shape you trying to get into? Or you could say, like, are you more focused on fat loss or muscle gain at the moment? Or a bit of both. But you're acknowledging that first message. And then you're moving the conversation down to start to get their goal situation. Like, where is it that they want to be at? And then once you've got that, it's like, you acknowledge that again. So you acknowledge the fact that, say they say, I'm trying to lose some weight. And like I've been trying to get into it for like 3 years. And what shape are you trying to get into? No, they'll say something like, oh, like I'm trying to like feel more confident and like lose some weight. And then you can dig on that more. So like, okay, like appreciate you saying, like, thanks for sending that over or something. Not even thanks for sending that over. Like, just like compliment them. So you could do a compliment like good to see. Great to see the other mentality of moving forward.
Yeah.
And that your goal is to lose some weight. Like, how much weight are you looking to lose? So that you can actually get a bit more of an in-depth understanding of their goal situation. And then you go to time, so you acknowledge that. So then they say, oh, I'm looking to lose 3 kg. Really want to lose it before I go to Marbella in 2 months. And even though that's not the real reason they want to lose it, no one wants to lose it just for a holiday. Everyone would prefer to just not have it year round. But you can still go into that. So it's like, okay, so we're trying to lose 3 kg from Marbella. You're just basically repeating the question, but in an acknowledgement. Marbella's great, man. You're going to love that. Great choice. And then you can just like, how long you been wanting to lose the extra weight for? So then you get time. And then after that, you get struggle. Like, so you acknowledge again once they say time. Yeah. So then you could just say like, what are you finding the most difficult to get to X, Y, Z? Might be able to give you a few tips on here. And then, for example, if they feel like they're making really quick progress, what do you feel like you could improve to make quicker progress towards X, Y, Z?
Yeah, because I get a lot of guys that I'll reach out to them because I'm like, they're following me, so I assume that they get some sort of value out of my stuff. And then I'll ask them about like what they're doing in the gym, and they'll be like, "Oh, it's all going great. Like I'm making great progress." And I'm like, "Okay, well, I don't know where I'm going from here."
Yeah. So some people you just won't be able to. You can check their profile.
Yeah.
And like you could sit in it, but most of them, like, they'll have. When you check their profile, do they look like they're really jacked?
Sometimes, not never really jacked. Some of them look in decent shape, but some of them like still look in bad shape. But they're saying, "Oh, I'm doing really well in the gym. We're making progress."
Yeah, I see that bullshit. And like, they might be making some progress, but like people don't really know what's really good progress until they've experienced it. So like, also you got to think, if they say, "Oh, I'm doing really well, I'm making really good progress." Oh, that's wicked, bro. Like, in what way that's wicked, bro. Like, do you feel like, I don't know, everything. So they said, really good, like making really good progress. So one, you could do, what do you feel like you could improve on to make even quicker progress towards your goal? Because you know their goal at that point. And then, and if they feel like they're making quick progress, they're going to be one of the ones that tells you more about their goals, because they always are. And then you could be like, okay, like in terms of getting to XYZ. I know you've been trying to do it for like 6 months. Like, what do you feel like you could do to make even quicker progress over the next 6 months so that you can get there even quicker? I just send that as a voice note. The reason why I was holding it down is I'm imagining it sending a voice note. You want to send stuff like that with a voice note. Any like really harsh objections that you're not too sure to get around, send as a voice note because you can provide a bit more detail in there. And you can get a few more things wrong as well and get away with it. So then you pitch authority once they've like got back and they've told you their struggles and you've gone into depth of the struggles. So like, don't just get one struggle. I'm struggling with nutrition. Like, what is it about nutrition you're struggling with? Oh, I'm struggling with this. Okay, that's fine. Then they say consistency, move on from there. Don't stay in it for ages. And then if you want, happy to give you a few tips to help you lose 20 kg pretty quickly without eating chicken and rice for the next 3 years. Haha, because who the fuck wants to do that? You don't have to do it in that position. That's just the way that I was doing it. And that's like an example. If their main struggles are consistency, diet, and the workout split. And then pitch roadmap session. So like best way after they get back to that, like, yeah, that'd be really helpful. Thank you, man. Like, best way to do this is to set up a quick one-to-one to just basically talk through XYZ situation in a bit more detail and build out a roadmap of everything you need to get to XYZ goal. And if it seems like, we can potentially look at one-to-one coaching. Sound good? Question mark. And the sound good would be in a separate message. Yeah. But for you, I wouldn't even potentially look at one-to-one coaching because right now you just want it. You just want as many leads. You could just literally just do this bit. You just want to book as many sales calls as possible. And then the next thing you want to go do is like manually book it. So don't like send them a Calendly invite and do it. So when they see sound good, like, yeah, that sounds amazing. Thanks, man. You then say, sounds good, man. Like, my fitness calendar is fully booked, like some sort of emoji. If you send me your email, I'll send you an invite link. No, you don't want to say that because this is post like cool bits. Like, so you go, sounds good, man. I can do, sounds good, man. I'll add this in. It's because my setter was very trained, so we didn't need as much structure. So like, I would say, sounds good, man. I can do Tuesday tomorrow. I can do Tuesday at 3 p.m. or Wednesday at 6 p.m. Let me know which works best. Let me know if either works. Don't just say I can do Friday.
Yeah, I always go time.
Yeah, because it's just like,
It makes you look like you're not busy.
and also it's just going to mean that you get less responses. Make sure to include times. If you know they're working, make sure to include at least 1 to 2 times that you think that fit them. Yeah. Give them more times that fit them. If anything, you can give 3 times.
Yeah. I know if then they come back with, I can't do it them, and then just start offering them more times, then they should do.
Okay, so if they say they can't do with them, I would just say like, okay, let me know what days are best. What days are best for you? What days best for you in the next? What days are best for you this week? I would ask that, and then they say Friday, and then I would then go Friday, and then I would then go, what times on Friday work for you? Yeah, what times on Friday work for you? I'll check if they fit my calendar. Or you could even say like, or I'll check if I squeeze you in. No, or I'll check if I can squeeze you in. Yeah. And then basically, once you've done that, you've got a time organized with them. You get them booked. You then go like, if you send me your email, I'll pop you an invite link. Awesome. And pop me over your WhatsApp so I can give you a call so I can send you over, or like just like pop me over your WhatsApp so I can send you over the I don't know, you can give any reason for WhatsApp, like pop me your WhatsApp so I can give you a call before the call as well. Or you could just say like, pop me your, I just started doing this and it worked really well. If you send me your email and WhatsApp, I'll send you an invite link. All right. Like, that just seemed to work the best because it's so simple. And then you need to pitch freebie. So like, see you on X time. In the meantime, film the video about XYZ. This will be great for you as it covers XYZ. Want me to send it over? They say yes, and then you send them the VSL. Okay. So then they start to get nurtured by the VSL. Or send them something that you have, a YouTube video you have that's very specific to them. Yeah. And then this will just get them more ready for the sales call, which will make them more likely to buy.
What about the My Story? Would you get them to, hopefully they've already watched that.
Yeah, but you can get them to watch the My Story if they haven't. That's absolutely fine.
Yeah. And with the WhatsApp, do you just do it all in your on WhatsApp, all your clients and all those things in there?
Yeah, I just keep it really simple.
Is it really not organized there?
What do you mean?
In your WhatsApp, you're not like get really mixed up with everything?
No, so I have a lot of people in my WhatsApp, yeah, but if you pass my phone's recording. I basically have, like, all my clients have this logo on it, so that and they're in a group chat with me and my trainer, like, because I don't do the training myself.
Yeah.
Well, I do, but like I don't do it all myself.
Yeah.
But so then like they all have these logos, so I can see who's the difference basically really easily. They have the Founders Physique logo on it, so it makes it really quick for me to just see.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is actually like refinement systems. We'll go over this really quickly, but it's like your training software, your automations and CRMs, AI and automation, and team and hiring. So like we start with the automation CRMs. For me, I have one of my CRMs is Notion. So I have this whole Notion Founders Physique page, and it's like kind of shows what we're trying to be the world's #1 force in entrepreneurial fitness and peak performance. It has a whole thing. It even has stuff about our YouTube and the content, and like a load of content tools and all this sort of stuff. And then it has more stuff about the actual coaching itself. So it even has like links to the free value documents that we have. Like this is a nut 67-page free value document with absolutely everything in. I can give you this as well. And it has links for stuff to send over to people, like Loom videos going over MyFitnessPal and everything. And yeah, it kind of just goes over a bit about everything in here, and it also just basically keeps the team together. So if you go team, you can literally just go onto, for example, Odysseus. He's one of the trainers in there, and then it keeps it all organized. So what you want is you want a system, like a place where basically everything can work together. So even if you go on coaching here as well, and then you go down to, where is it? Wait a second. Oh yeah, so if you go onto coaching and then you go to current clients, there's like a whole thing depending on the package that they're in that we can keep track of everyone. So if you click on Jack Olmonroy, for example, Odysseus is assigned to him, which is one of the coach. Odysseus does the most things. He's like full time. It like even has the whole thing of like milestones and everything of where he's at. We have different things and we can keep notes of them. So like, for example, Odysseus has put a note down here of he's obviously had a call with him then. If you go on to Sean, he's probably had a call with him somewhere in here, but like he's got like a load of notes on him. Issues like golfer's elbow, we have all of this. You don't necessarily need this in the start, but it just is useful when you get more clients. Like when you get more clients, it can be like a good thing because then you can just keep track of stuff. Like even if we go on Sam T, it hasn't got any of the information, so it's okay. When we go on to like Neb 1-to-1, I didn't take any notes, obviously, because we might have just caught up and basically had a like general chat about motivation and stuff. But you can keep all the notes and stuff like located in here, which means with the team, everyone's going to have access to something. So that is really easy for them. Like they can access all the cookbooks and everything. And then there's a load more stuff about client acquisition. I'm not going to click on this because it's a bit too much source and I want to share on YouTube. And then some more projects and tasks. And then obviously finance things, company archives, which I also don't want to go on. And some additional stuff, which has got some really fucking sick stuff in as well. And then you can even keep track of your sales pipeline and everything in here. What I also tend to use this for is education. So like loads of different documents to educate the team. I'm also not going to go into these because there's so much source in here, but like ads and all of these sort of things that like we're doing at the moment that work really well, that all the team can look at and actually see to then basically like to scale really. Like that's like, it just keeps all the team massively in the loop. The other thing that I would do, another CRM that I use is Go High Level. So like we have all of these people in here, so like 184,000 leads, like 94 opportunities, and then we can have a dialer ring these people up, and then we can move them through the whole thing, and then into, once they actually get booked in a sales call, they're now in here, and then they move through this whole thing as well. So it just keeps the leads more organized. And then the automations you can use, there's loads of different AI automations. You can use them for ads, fulfillment, content, setting, sales. Like another automation you can just use in general is Zapier. We have like Zapier going straight into our Discord, and it basically just reminds all the team and everything of like basically payments that have been made all in one centralized place. I hope that last was being recorded. I think it glitched out. But like, for example, you can have, if I go into Founders of Z, like you can get new charges. I just got to be careful about showing that. And then every time I post content, it will post in here all the content that I've posted so that everyone in the team can go and actually have a look and like check out the content that's posted. And then the other thing is like with the training software, we use Kahuna, and then we also use MyFitnessPal, and we connect the two in together. So we get the person added on MyFitnessPal, get them as a friend. We get Kahunas that has loads of automations for like, firstly, like actually client check-ins, like basically checking client stats, like checking client workout programs, like making clients check in, like automations that like send them out emails, or even send them happy birthday and stuff when it's their birthday. It has a load of stuff on there in terms of the training software on there. And then another thing is like you can integrate AI things into Kahuna's to automate more things. So like to build the training workouts for you, to build the nutrition plans for you. It doesn't have this in Kahuna's naturally, but you can also use them to create like roadmaps for people that you can send out. Absolutely everything. And then you can also use AI to like actually script, film, and create the ads. You can use AI for more of the fulfillment. So actually you can even use it for some of the messages and everything in there. You can use it to create you the content. You can actually get AI bots to do the setting for you. So if you've done enough DM setting, you can then train an AI bot based on all that DM setting you've done or your set is done, and then that can do it for you. And you get an AI bot to basically like help you in sales calls and like give you pointers as you go through, so it makes sales way easier. Or even get the AI to do some of the sales process, so like some of the conversation or even dialing before the process. And then when it comes to team and hiring, like a lot of that just comes down to having the right like CRM, SOPs and things like that to actually scale. But really, you're only going to need this when you get to like that 5-10K. So it's probably way more for you right now, except from the training software and the CRMs. All of this I wouldn't focus on. Like loads of people are trying to do loads of AI stuff. And yeah, you can use AI for your content. You can use it for your premium buyer ecosystem. You can use it to help you create a high converting offer. You can use it for your conversion. But the best thing that you're going to be able to do in the early stages is just use like chat GPT basically to help you with these things. It's so basic, but like you're not going to use AI properly before you've done this. Until you've created like, till you've had like 5, 10, 15K, you're not going to use AI. Like once you've got to like the 10, 20K mark, you can use AI to scale even further. And you can use AI to save you so much time so that you can earn like 10K without only putting like a few hours into the business. Cool. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Any questions?
No, that's good. I think yeah. I need to look over this in more detail, go back over. But that whole like Notion setup was like, there was a lot in there.
Yeah.
And did you just like slowly build that up over time?
No, I'd like a whole, like for the people that I actually work with, like I have a whole, this whole thing, I actually just, it's a template basically that you can use that has all the automations already pre-built in, right? And you just filled it out. Yeah, basically fill it out. So I've built this whole template that can now be filled out, because sometimes I'll apply it to other businesses. Like let's say I'm helping someone like a Petter, for example, grow his business. It's called Mr. Infinity. Look at his thing. He has a really different angle, like the way he goes about stuff. But helping him build his business, I can help him actually just implement this whole system straight into his back end to make sure that his fulfillment's really strong. So it makes it that simple. So is that useful? He genuinely asked. I feel like I should ask you, like, so you feel like you clear with things that are helpful?
Yeah, massively much more clear. There's a lot in there and more than I kind of expected, but you know, I know what I've got to work through them. And yeah, I think the main thing is just work on those basics and get the first few sales through the door and interest. So
that's definitely 100%. And like, if you watch the end of this video, firstly, big fucking congrats. Like, it's so easy to go off a YouTube video and scroll on reels and brain rot, but that's exactly what's going to cause you to stay in the position that you're in. And like, if you're someone that wants to go further, then you have to take action to do that. And by actually watching a cool video deciding actually, I'm going to complete this video, I'm not just going to get sidetracked or distracted, and actually fulfilling on that and being like, okay, I've watched it full video through, because this is a long video. Like me and Bats have been sat, like we've done this over like 3 days whilst we've been at Budapest. So yeah, and like if you apply these things, you're gonna get to 10K a month. And it's like almost definitely what most fitness coaches don't do is they want to do fitness coaching, they want to help people, but they just don't learn the business side of it. And the big part of it is the business side of it. So if you're not learning that, you're not really going to get anywhere. And what we've gone over today is all the business side of it. So if you watch this, congrats. Because you watch this, if for whatever reason you want to DM me on Instagram, you can DM me, or like tell me that you finished. Just say to me, I just watched the Barty YouTube video, and I'm going to actually put it into my calendar, put it into my note to actively respond to you guys that have watched this. And I can just go over, any questions and stuff that you guys have about the YouTube video, because I appreciate you going all the way to the end. And yeah, it means a lot. So, and it's going to mean a lot for you. And if you're interested to see about how I actually got here, like what journey I went through to be in a position that I'm in today, then I'll actually drop the YouTube link to that below or like somewhere on the screen now. So you guys would watch that, because I didn't just start off fine and say, if I came up for fitness coaching, there was a process there was a journey to getting them, and I want you guys to see that and actually see what I went through, so you guys don't need to make the same mistakes, spend the amount of money on mentors that I did, and actually waste all the time that I wasted, but also just see that the journey is genuine, and like there's going to be ups and downs. It's not going to be a perfectly straight path. You can watch my journey, you can watch my road and come up with me. See you on the next video.
There goes.